Welcome to the Speak Uneasy, a safe space where cancel culture does not exist because we are in a different prohibition era.
I've got the alcoholic blues. No more beer, my heart to cheer. Goodbye, whiskey, you used to make me frisky. So long, highball, so long, gin. Oh, tell me when you're coming back again. Blues, I've got the blues since they amputated my blues. Lordy, Lordy, war is well. You know, I don't have to tell. Oh, I've got the alcoholic blues, some blues. Prohibition, that's the name. Prohibition drives me insane. I'm so thirsty, soon I'll die. I simply grind, evaporate, I scarce that dry. I wouldn't mind to live forever in a train if my thirst had only let me quench, and not with Bevo or ginger ale. I want real stuff by the
You're very exceptionary. No dictionary can define what's genuinely indescribable. Very exceptionary. No ordinary phrase can capture you. Now some might say that you're tremendous. You are so much more stupendous, so magnificent, so magnanimous. If we voted, it'd be unanimous. Very exceptionary. This temporary phrase we'll have to do. It's true for my very exceptionary you. You're very exceptionary. No dictionary can define what's genuinely indescribable. Very Yes, some might say that you're tremendous. You are so much more stupendous, so magnificent, so magnanimous. If we voted, it'd be unanimous. Very exceptionary. This temporary phrase will have to do, it's true, for my very exceptionary, for my very exceptionary you.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of This is News with your host, The Bartender. I will be introducing my co-host here in a minute, but before we get to that, tonight's random read. Tonight's random read comes from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verses 12 through 20. Nehemiah's inspection of the walls. And I arose in the night, I and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what my God had put my heart to do at Jerusalem, neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon. Pardon me. Let me just fix this real quick, just so you know that that we're live. Okay, where are we at? Okay. And I went out by night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, and to the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and the gates thereof were consumed with fire. Then I went on to the gate of the fountain, and to the king's pool, but there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. Then went I up in the night by the brook, and viewed the wall, and turned back, and entered by the gate of the valley, and so returned. And the rulers knew not whither I went, or what I did, neither had I as yet told it to the Jews, nor the priests, nor the nobles, nor the rulers, nor to the rest that did the work. Then said I unto them, Ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof are burdened with fire. Come, and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me, as also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, Let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for his good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite, and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem the Arabian heard it, they laughed us to scorn, and despised us, and said, What is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king? Then answered I them, and said unto them, The God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build, but yet have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. Once again, this random read comes from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verses 12 through 20, Nehemiah's inspection of the walls. Yes, sirree. Now, let's get to this. All right. So, tonight's cocktail. I'll be making a cocktail named Alfie. I don't know any history of the Alfie. I tried to find history on it. Unfortunately, there was no history on the Alfie. But we're going to make the Alfie. So, let's start off by getting my shaker here. We're going to go ahead and start off with an ounce and a half of vodka. And we got the special vodka here. This is Russian vodka. Stolichnaya. Yes, sirree. We don't boycott Russian vodka here. We make good use of it is what we do here in the bar. So let's go ahead and put 1.5 ounces of Stolichnaya vodka into my shaker. All right. Pardon me. Next, we have 1/2 ounce of pineapple juice. So let's go ahead and put that inside the shaker. And next, we have a teaspoon of Cointreau, also known as white curacao. And this bottle's kicking my ass because it won't open. Okay, there it is. Oh, the liquor has been dried up and stuck in there. So let's go ahead and put a teaspoon of curacao. So I'm just using the cap of the bottle, kind of guesstimating that. Oh man, this thing hasn't been opened in a while, which is why it was tough to open. Okay. And we also have a teaspoon of lime juice. So I have a 1/4 cut of lime, and I'm just going to squeeze it in there in the shaker, which is going to be about equivalent to a teaspoon of lime juice. All right, we got all our ingredients in there in the shaker, so let's go ahead and put the ice in the shaker. I've already pre-chilled my my glass, so I don't have to put any ice in there. As far as my glass goes, we do have to put ice in the shaker to shake this thing up. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's the shake. All right, let's go ahead and pour this bad boy in the glass. I'm kind of excited about this one. I think the last drink I made, was it last week or something? It was a horrible drink because I didn't use pineapple juice. I used pineapple coconut, and that made a big difference. It made a big difference on the drink, and it was horrible. It was horrible. All right. Let's put that aside. Oh, it's... All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just... here's the Alfie. Here's to tonight's show. Here's the Alfie. Cheers, everybody. Oh, wow, that is good. You know, it kind of reminds me of a candy. It really does. This one is a success, I have to say. The Alfie is it's a success. Anyhow, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host. Mr. C, would you please reveal yourself out of the dark?
Into the light. Hello.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How's it going?
Oh,
Mr.
man.
The Speaker and Easy, the bartender, the man himself, the man of the hour.
Oh, man. You don't have to say that, bro.
We
know.
Then how am I going to get my free drinks? No, just kidding.
Speaking of, are you drinking anything tonight?
And no, I have not had anything to drink. No, maybe I should take care of that.
Man,
I know I have a bottle hiding around here somewhere.
you know, this drink that I just made, the Alfie.
What's it called?
Huh?
Oh, the Alfie. The Alfie, huh?
Yeah, it's called Alfie. It kind of tastes like a freaking like a Skittles or a Starburst candy. It's pretty dang good. Granted, the only thing that makes it sweet is the pineapple juice, and I used actual pineapple juice today. I made
what
sure.
else is in it?
There's vodka. That's the main. That's the main. Vodka. You got some Cointreau, and you got some pineapple juice and some lime juice. And it's pretty dang
delicious.
good. Yeah, it is good. It's dang good.
And easy to make.
It is very easy to make. So let me see who's up here in the chats. I see Tam Grau. Good evening. Thank you for coming to the bar.
Sorry.
I know. I saw her at your show earlier today, and she shot me an email. She really I mean, Okay, so she was talking to me about the whole meetup thing that's going to happen next month, right?
Yeah.
In on
It's
the
actually
9th?
a month from tomorrow, I think. Yeah.
On the 9th. You know, I can't make any promises to it, only because, you know, for DJs, I'm a full-time DJ. That's what I do. I think everybody who's a regular here knows that. And unfortunately, most of my gigs are on Saturdays, and the main reason why I say unfortunately, because Saturday is actually Sabbath day, and I shouldn't even be doing that stuff. Like, I shouldn't even be working. But, you know, I'm trying not to get gigs for Saturdays, but still, man, like, that's the only time it
That's
rolls
like the
in.
busiest day for a DJ.
Yeah,
Probably.
no, it is. It is.
Maybe if you only DJ after midnight.
I mean, what I'm trying to do, okay, because sundown is when Sabbath ends. So
Oh, there you go.
I would rather, if there is a Saturday gig, I mean, I think 6:00 would be kind of okay. You know what I mean?
The sun's down somewhere in the world by then.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna play word games with God. You know, God's God. But you know, granted, at 6:00, I think I can call it like, okay, it's beginning to be nighttime now. So I think I can, you know, I think that's okay. But man, you know, lately for the past 2 Saturdays, our Saturday gigs have been during the day, like midday. Like, I'm talking about like 12:00, and I know my pastor's like, hey, dude, you know, he's not giving me anything bad, but he is saying eventually you're gonna have to answer up to God for that. And I'm thinking to myself, he's right, man.
God is merciful. I mean, at least you show up.
Yeah, but still, you know, but still, the you know, and I've learned that the celebration of Sabbath is because you want to celebrate the Creator of the, you know, of the whole human race, and also of the world. You want to celebrate the Creator. You want to validate the creators. One of the reasons why, at least with Adventists, they're very big on that, because it's a celebration of acknowledging God.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's the last day of the week.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and you're supposed to use it for rest. And unfortunately, I mean, yeah, I mean, I hate
to honor God. You know, you're
uh,
supposed to dedicate that day to God.
I'm in a dilemma, man. I really am, but part of me is still.
Did God ask you to be a DJ or to spread His word? Speak. No, just
Spread his
kidding.
word. No, you make a good point, and there's nothing I can argue about that, right? I can't argue that, but that's just my dilemma right now, and I have to, like, I'm praying to God, like, please, God, give me gigs on Fridays and Sundays instead of Saturdays. But you know, eventually that's up to Him. It's up to Him.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let me get
It'll straighten itself out, I'm sure.
I hope so. I mean, things have eventually worked themselves out after I quit my job. Things have actually worked out because of my faith, and I thank God for a lot of things that He's done. And I really want to give that Saturday. I have to, you know, for that particular reason, for worship. So, you know, I think God will work things out. I think He will. He'll answer my prayers. So anyways, Sassy Q, good evening.
Pew, pew, pew.
She likes to do that
Pew,
on
pew,
your
pew.
channel? Is that what that is?
Yeah, we have a little inside joke. We shoot each other with imaginary laser guns.
Oh, is that right? Laser tag? You guys play laser tag?
Yeah.
Kiss, good evening. Welcome to the bar. Thank you for coming by.
Hi, Kiss.
So, interesting articles that we have today.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I mean, I don't know what you got, but I know what I got.
Well, let's just say one of the articles kind of lines up with, you know, the one that you sent. Oh, well, actually, both of what you sent me are kind of relatable.
Awesome.
Sort of. Well, they are relatable because they pertain to a certain type of group of people.
A specific LGBT. No, the
alphabet.
LGBT.
Yeah, the alphabet crew. So, yeah, I have one.
We got to be careful because people are going to start saying that this is the anti-LGBT show.
Oh man, they can think whatever they think. I mean,
that's true. You know what? It's not our business what they think, anyways, right?
You know, if they don't want, if they don't like it, they don't have to listen. I mean, that's just as simple as it gets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, yeah, one of my articles have something to do. It's in relation to two of the articles that you have, and then I have this other one where I just had to. I had to pick it because. Well, you'll find out. We'll talk about it when we get to it. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
Absolutely.
But anyhow, I hope everybody's midweek is going fine. Man, here in Texas, it's hot.
It has been pretty hot these last couple of days.
It is hot, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you guys are staying cool, whoever's in Texas. If not, hopefully your part of the country is doing okay as far as weather goes. Because it's been really hot, and I was looking at the forecast, and it looks like it's just gonna get hotter and hotter.
That's what I hear.
So, anyhow, shall we begin?
Would this be your first full summer of Texas heat?
No. I've been here. I'm going on 3 years here, dude.
Ah, awesome. Well, I don't know.
No, we moved out here in 2019.
I mean, consistent, always in Texas. Heat.
Yeah, this will be my first entire year here without the travel.
Every day spent.
Yes, every day spent. Yes, and you know my biggest peeve about here that I didn't even realize this. The bugs here, dude. Oh man, the bugs. It reminds me of. When I was raised in Guam, it's the same thing, man. The bugs were there all the time, mosquitoes and all sorts of creeper crawlies, man. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Have you got the flying roaches yet? No, just kidding.
No, we used to have that in Guam too. We used to have all sorts of, even geckos, man. We used to have, all sorts of stuff out there.
Awesome.
No, it's not.
They're God's creations. No, just kidding.
I don't know about the reptiles. But
you don't think the reptiles are God's creation? Just kidding.
I mean, they could be. But
who would have made the reptiles?
They could be.
Wait, you're not going flat Earth on me, are you? No, just kidding.
It's funny you mentioned that. Not because I am not because I'm a flat earther. Because one of my really good friends I used to work with kind of brought that. He kind of brought that across my table this morning. Actually, he messaged me. He messaged me, and I was like, he was kind of like trying to get my take on it. I'm like, I really don't know because I haven't really delved into it. I've kind of delved into Hollow Earth a little bit, which is kind of it's interesting, but I don't know too much about it.
Well, I think Hollow Earth is more believable than flat Earth, even if the Bible talks about a firmament being,
Well, I wouldn't know. I mean,
I still don't get it because, like, who was it? Who was the guy that was he like a German Nazi scientist or something? Anyways, on his gravestone, it says like Psalms whatever, and it says, "For we shall know." It's like one sentence, like we shall know the greatness of the Creator based on the firmament or whatever he put in the sky or whatever. And I still don't see how that proves that we are like in a dome.
I couldn't give you an opinion either way because I haven't.
I will. Oh, go ahead.
I haven't delved into it, so there's nothing I know about it.
I really haven't dug deeply into flat Earth. Just I think kind of like the general, But like I've seen that video of like they shoot a rocket into the sky and it hits something and it falls down. But what do you call it? I saw this one show one time, that was talking about something called I think it was like blue ice or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this blue ice was like nothing that anyone had ever seen before.
Where was it found? Was it found in
Antarctica?
Okay.
Actually,
okay.
It was in Antarctica that they found this blue ice.
I think I've heard about that.
Yeah, and I can't remember how it went. Like, it wouldn't melt, and something like that. But I think what the gist of that idea is that our dome on our flat Earth is this blue ice, that's in the sky, or something like that.
That's interesting.
Like, I guess
that's
I don't know.
It's interesting. The thing that my friend kind of messaged me about was he was saying something to the effect. I mean, don't quote me on this. I'm just kind of paraphrasing of what he texted me. Was like like space is supposed to be like the ocean between Earth and heaven or something to that effect. And I was like, you know, I don't know. I don't know. But I do think, you know, I honestly think, and this is what I think. I think a lot of answers are in the Bible, man, for a lot of questions. I think,
right.
I think, like many answers are in there. And I think that sometimes we overthink things instead of taking it for its simplicity, because we want to think that a lot of things here on Earth are complicated or what's complex.
Don't we make them complicated?
No, we want to think that everything is complex, but sometimes I really think that there is simplicity about how things operate here on the world. And I just think we overthink things.
True that.
So, you know, it's not necessarily hidden in plain sight. It's just that your mind is telling you that it's a complex thing when it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my thinking, you know, because that's how my brain works. Like, I don't want to think too complex because I will get lost. And, you know, I'm a very simple thinker. Yeah, that's just me, you know. I just think we're, you know, I think we just overcomplicate things when it shouldn't sometimes.
Yep. Look at atheists.
You want to talk about being complex? Those people are very complex, man. Like, why? Why would you put that stress upon yourself? I mean, why? I mean, I got enough stuff in my life going on. Why would I want to add more to it that doesn't need to be complex? I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. You know, and in regards to the Bible having all the answers, I would probably agree with Aurelius Locke. He says, must be in one of those books that was removed.
And which book?
I know, right? Which one, Aurelius?
Yeah, which book? Would it be the Book of Enoch, or
we would have to ask Cranach that question, I think.
I don't know.
He probably knows.
I really don't know.
It's in the Book of Mary Magdalene.
I really don't know. But
the whore on the flat earth. No, just kidding.
But I will tell you this. I mean, on my Monday shows, I did start reading from the Book of Matthew. I started with the New Testament because the advice that I got, not necessarily from somebody, was if for a person like me, somebody who's just starting out, if I read from the New Testament and then work my way back to the Old Testament, then things will be a lot more easier to like understand. So that's what I'm doing. I'm starting with the Book of Matthew, and I'll work my way through the Revelation and then go back to the Book of Genesis. So, and you know, to be honest, like a lot of things that are happening now, a lot of it comes from the New Testament anyway. So it's relatable to what's going on right now. So, hey, what's going on, Tone Jack, Aurelius Locke, and Kiss?
I got to say, I do agree with Tone Jack, though, about NASA lying. I'm sure all of you guys have seen them drop the ball in outer space.
Man, I've seen some of them videos of these astronauts
They're flying around on,
with
like,
their freaking
cords.
harnesses on.
Yeah.
Like, really? Who are you fooling, man?
You know, I think that the word NASA stands for New Age Satanic Association. That's what I think.
I don't know, man.
You know, because they even hijacked the New Age movement. These neo-Satanists.
They're part of. I mean, that's whole part of the New Age thing, because they go by.
No, they hijacked it. You know, just like one world, one love. You know, all of that was a thing, and they hijacked that too.
NASA?
No, not NASA. Like the globalist satanic buttholes that are trying to rule the world.
Yeah, you got me all messed up, dude. I was like, NASA.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to do more digging into NASA, actually. But yeah, New Age Satanic Association.
Well, you want to go dig? You want to go do some digging in NASA? Go to Houston, man. Go to the freaking thing over there.
Why? I'm not gonna be able to get into classified areas.
No, but I mean, you know, I went there. I want to say it was last year. I went there because I went to go see a really good friend of mine who visited in Houston, and we went to I forgot what it's called, the NASA thing, the place where the space shuttle is. You know what I'm talking about, the museum, whatever it's called.
The NASA Museum?
Yes, I don't know what it's called.
Space of Aeronautics?
Yeah, yes.
Do you know what they call NASA in Mexico?
What?
Masa. The Mexican. That's not my joke. That's not my joke. I got it from South Park. Okay.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, I went there and I was like, I think I'm surrounded by a bunch of bullshit here.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
I know,
What did they have?
and I passed by the exhibit with the whole, first step for man or some shit, whatever that he said. The first step on the moon, and he said it's a big step for man or mankind. I don't know what he said.
Yeah.
But
This is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Yes,
Something like that.
that's what it was. And I was looking at this exhibit, and I was thinking to myself, man, this is all horse doo-doo, man. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe this stuff, man.
I know what you mean.
But then there were a lot of people out there like, oh, wow, this is...
Well, I'm kind of like, did we go to the moon? I think once. And have we been back? No. And why did Obama have them destroy all of our technology that could do that? Because he did. And then the first time that whole production, I don't think that was real. I think we were just trying to look stronger than the Russians at that time. But yeah, so
that is true, because there was a race to go to space between us and the Russians. I do remember that. Tone Jack, thank you so much for the cookie, my friend. Thank you for being here most of all. Thank you. And Kiss, thank you so much for dropping the link. Thank you for your assistance always.
Awesome.
There's Two Rivers. How are you, sir? He's asking, I think Mr. C does have a Truth Social account.
I already told you. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Two Rivers, I don't have a Truth Social. There's just, all the social media stuff I have now is, I can't manage it myself. It's a hard time for me to manage everything. And the only thing I do for those platforms anyway is post my random reads and post the show's schedule. That's all I do. I don't go putting articles and stuff like, a bunch of people do, because I have other things I got to do in my life. This is a one-man show.
Well, speaking of which, I need to post a True Social right now. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, go ahead. If I were you, go ahead and drop it in the link if you want to.
Oh, I put my
Oh, you tagged.
I put my handle in there already.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a Truth Social, and I know people be like, I mean, it doesn't matter because I hardly get follows on these platforms to begin with. Even though I ask people to follow me, what's the point? They're not going to follow me anyway. And I know I shouldn't have an attitude like that, but I keep, I check my social medias. No, I don't check them. It's when I'm posting stuff. I don't get any new notifications of people following me, even though the links are being dropped out there.
I wish on Truth Social.
I wish people would follow me, but I can't force people to follow me. And, I don't know. Maybe they don't think I'm cool.
Well, they already know your schedule, so drop something else. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. But anyhow, thank you again for being here tonight, guys. So shall we start this is news?
Let's get it on.
Who was first? That was me last week. I remember I was first last week. So we'll start with your article. Which one did you want to start off with?
Were you first last week?
Yeah, I think I was. Or I mean,
didn't you finish the show? No, just kidding. No. Okay, yeah.
We had a long discussion, so I don't even remember.
You're right. I think you were first. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's hit it.
Okay, so which one did you want to do?
You're the master conductor here. I know nothing about your articles. You got to choose the flow.
Okay, I'll choose the flow. I'll definitely choose the flow. Hold on for a moment. Let me just screen share it with you first. Where are you at? Screen share. Go here. You see it?
I do.
Okay, we'll start off with that one first. Let me bring the peeps over here.
Awesome.
Turn that off.
Yeah, I thought this one was, kind of ironic.
Bam.
Bam.
It's a man. No, it's not a man. It's this.
Well, that basically what this one is saying is it's not a man. It's not a lesbian. It's not a lesbian.
Did you even see me say that yesterday on your show?
I did. Or did I? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it
I
was
think so.
yesterday.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
all caps, man. It's a man.
Uh-huh.
Look at the forehead.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Who was I talking about? I was talking about that
Oh,
that guy's
man.
wife, right?
I don't know, man. It was, and you were
remember
saying
his
something.
name.
You were saying something about the forehead, so I was like, "Look at the forehead."
Yes, it was oh my goodness, it looked like a man. I don't remember the name or who I was talking about, but I remember. I'm like, what did I talk about yesterday again? Oh, but yeah, no, I remember. I was like, because I hadn't seen that photo when I was reviewing the article, and I had to just say something. You know,
Well, so
could
did
not
I.
Stay silent on that.
I had to put it all in caps.
it was the Clinton guy. No, that wasn't the Clinton guy.
No, it was
Never mind. I
it was some
remember who
chick. It was some chick. I don't
No, his
remember.
wife, the Clinton guy's wife. But I don't think it was the Clinton guy
Oh.
now.
But yeah,
I
I
remember who it was.
I put that all in caps, man. Oh, Sazzy Q, by the way, if you're wondering about the drink that I made, I did put some triple sec. It's Cointreau. Cointreau and triple sec are kind of the same thing.
I thought that was just like simple sugar. What is it called?
What? Say what?
What is it called? Like simple syrup?
No.
Isn't triple sec simple syrup?
No, triple sec it's a liquor. It's an orange liqueur, but Cointreau is like the brand name, and triple sec is like the generic of Cointreau. So yeah, I did add some. I put a teaspoon of Cointreau, or AKA triple sec, into the drink tonight, and it's good. It's really it's like it tastes like Skittles or Starburst. I almost said Starbucks. Starbursts.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, give it a whirl. It's pretty dang good if you drink. If you don't, then don't. All right. So anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and start off with this one first.
Let's jump into it.
All right, brother.
So this is from, I don't remember where. News
Here.
Punch.
Yes, News Punch.
News Punch. And it says this. Feminist faces 3 years in prison for saying biological men cannot be lesbians. Now, this is coming to a progressive United States of America near
Wait.
you.
Okay.
The irony is not lost.
I was about to say, how ironic is this?
Now that it seems like the left are starting to eat their own, right?
They always do.
It started with J.K. Rowling, right?
That's right. Last week.
Mm-hmm. Started with J.K. Rowling. Moving right along. Now, in case you guys were wondering, yes, this is a story from a European nation. Mm-hmm. You know, the ones that lost their sovereignty by some type of international treaty, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so a Norwegian feminist faces 3 years in prison for asserting that biological men cannot be lesbians. And
You
if I'm
don't
not mistaken,
say.
if I'm not mistaken, this female feminist is a lesbian. Okay. And what was the other thing though that I was going to say with that you don't say comment? Oh yes. How does it go?
I don't know. It's your
I'm trying
thought.
to think of how it goes. I know. I'm trying to think how it goes. How does it go? Never mind. It's not worth it. Okay. So Christina Ellingson of the feminist organization Women's Declaration International, who does not fight for the rights of female in Afghanistan or in who does not fight for the rights of women who are being getting their asses kicked by transgender women, is under police investigation for making a factual claim in a tweet. A factual claim in a tweet, mind you. I guess Elon Musk does not exist over in Norway.
Wait a minute. So they're wasting the government is wasting their resources for this kind of shit.
Hello, didn't you know that's what they're trying to do here? Like totally, 100%.
Well, I mean, I already know that they started doing that in California with
that's right. You said that last week.
Yeah,
didn't you?
I mean, I don't know if it's still law, but it was law when I was a deputy that if you misgendered somebody, it's a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
It is.
There you go. So yeah, in Europe, this thing's you already get, in trouble for it. and they police your social accounts and stuff like that.
What?
Or someone reports you.
Man, that sounds like China already, man.
Social.
Social.
Yep,
what's that called? Social credit scores.
Something to that effect. So yeah, she made a factual claim in a tweet, mind you. So, I mean, Elon Musk might be the hero of all of the Trump supporting patriots, but
Still don't trust him.
Neither do I. But I guess no one in Norway is a fan of Elon Musk, because apparently you're still getting rolled up for making a tweet. So it says here, she made a factual tweet in which she criticized the far left. What? There's a far left? What? Someone acknowledged it. What? The far left trans activist group, FRI.
What does that stand for?
Female replacement individuals. I don't know.
You're just making it up.
I sure did. Couldn't you tell? It says, that's probably better than what it actually stands for. Anyways, why does FRI teach young people that males can be lesbians? Well, I mean, actually, technically speaking, straight male is a lesbian because they like women, and they're just kidding.
No, because lesbian would be attached to a female, right?
That's the joke I was trying to make, because gay men who are feminine, who make jokes about, making out with their female friends, they call them lesbians, right? Like, oh, you're such a lesbian, even though he has a penis and, testicles.
No, man.
You know what? It's just the gay culture, okay? So it's
a jumbling of words is what it is.
No, not in the context that I use it.
It's a jumbling of words.
No, if you have a feminine bottom male, which means he's the one that takes the dick in the ass, okay? And that's all he does. He doesn't insert his penis into a rectum. He is the female, and he acts feminine also. But then he talks about, it's a joke, okay? It's not something that has made it to the national scene. Anyways, and then they make jokes about, I make it with my girlfriends, or, oh, I'm going to go be a lesbian with my girlfriends,
Why can't they just say, I'm going to pretend to be straight? Why can't they just say that?
Because they're not pretending to be straight. Because they're not pretending to be straight.
You're confusing me now.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell. All right. So, Summit News, which is an offshoot of the operational shill group InfoWars, reports she also questions the legitimacy of FRI's advisor, Christine Gentoft, identifying as a lesbian despite being born a biological male. Okay, now that's the confusing thing, Speak. If you want to be confused about something, that's what you should be confused about. Because this still blows my gasket, and that is this. What is up? And I see this more, I see biological women doing this more than, I can't even think of a biological male I've seen do this. I've seen biological women who have a sex change and then go on to date gay men.
What?
That's what did you see that? That's what it just said. Summit News reports that this feminist who got rolled up questioned the legitimacy of FRI's advisor, Christine Gentoft, identifying as a lesbian, which means she likes women, but she was born a biological male.
Dude, that is weird.
What is up with that? Do you know how
that is weird? That is weird. I mean,
I'm like, do you have a uterus?
Well, I mean, why go through all that trouble when you
if we have relations? Am I going to be a father? Because you're presenting yourself as a man, and you're saying you're a man, but you're a woman, and then you're dating men. Doesn't that make you straight?
Right?
I just don't understand it, Speak.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why go through all that trouble? Well, no, why go all through that trouble to?
I couldn't figure it out, Speak. I mean, when I first saw this phenomenon come onto the scene, I was like, wait. That's a woman. And yeah, she's a trans man, but what the hell is she doing on a gay dating site? Because what am I doing on a gay dating site? No, what the hell is she doing on a gay dating site? Because she's a woman and she turned into a man, I would assume to be the man in the lesbian relationship, but yet she wants to get stuffed by a gay man. Okay, so the only thing that I could think, Speak, honestly, and this is going to sound cruel and mean and shallow to everyone, but this is the reason why I assess it this way. I had very dear friends to my heart in high school, right?
Uh-huh.
And by society standards, they were pug ugly, you know, and they were always like, oh, all the cutest, hottest guys are gay. Oh, they're all gay. And they didn't like straight men. They liked gay men. So the only thing I think of is they didn't get any loving when they were a female. So they turned into a man to get with a gay man, because a hot gay male will get with an ugly, you know, beer gutted daddy, you know? So they have a chance there. I told you guys it was going to sound shallow. Don't hate me.
No.
I just lost all of my follows.
No. You know what? I think there is truth to that. But here's what I don't understand about females like that. Like, because there have been girls that I've gone to school with who were like, no way. There's no way I'm going to freaking like date her, or there's no way I'm even going to hook up with her. No, there's just no way. Years later, when they mature, man, things change and they look like, dang, I wish, you know, I wish I could have gotten with her. It's just a matter of how people take care of themselves. I mean, but if you, I mean, the way you're explaining it, I think that has a lot to do with self-esteem.
Yep. They had very low self-esteem, my friends.
Not only that, but I think that they're lazy to even.
Yeah, they were, dude. Sorry.
They're lazy to work on themselves because.
Oh man,
you know,
they were.
Taking care of yourself is not an easy thing to do. It's not. You know, I kind of still struggle with that. You know, I haven't worked out in about a week and a half, which is bad because I was on a roll, but. You know, because of things, you know, with my DJ thing, I'm getting busy and having to do the behind the scenes stuff, and with not only with DJing but also with this show too. I kind of fell off the wagon with working out, and I should get back into it. It's hard work. What I'm trying to say, it's hard work. You know, you have to put in effort for yourself in order for you to, I guess, attract somebody. You got to put work into yourself, and you got to be able to have as much love for yourself to put in that work.
You got to love yourself, man.
Right, but not in a way where it's vain. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You love yourself.
Know your self-worth, you know.
Exactly.
Take care of yourself. You know?
Yes, because you know, if it shows how much you love yourself by how you look.
And if you can't love yourself, how is someone gonna love you?
And it's not a shallow thing. It's more like if you put work into yourself, people will see that. People will see how happy you are when you start putting self-worth to, you know, you start taking care of yourself because you know you're worth more than what you think you are. You know, and also obviously if you can go to the extremes, and you can tell right away with people who are so conceited. You can tell right away that they're just vain. But I think that if people, you know, put more work into themselves, it will show everybody, and then that's how you become attractive, because it depends on how much you put into yourself. And not only that, but when you start caring for yourself, your attitude also projects out there, and people can see it, you know. And I'm not trying to be shallow, but that's just what I think. I mean, if you're able to,
that's not shallow at all. What I said is shallow.
I think if you're able to care for self, what in a shortcut way of saying it, if you're able to care for yourself, everything will show from that, and people will like you for that. People will admire you and be like, you might even be able to motivate somebody to do that for themselves as well. You know?
Right.
So that's just the way
Absolutely.
I see it.
It's, you know, society, interestingly enough, has not provided a way for us to equate taking care of ourselves with loving ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think, oh, I got to exercise because I love myself. You think, oh, I got to exercise because I'm fat. I got to exercise because I'm ugly. I got to exercise because I got to look hot. I got to exercise because I got not because I need to take care of myself and I love myself and that's why I should do it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, I think that's just the way we've all been kind of.
Yeah, society's conditioned us that way.
Yeah. You know, it's just the way that we've been, I hate to say it, but we've been trained that way, you know?
Conditioned, trained. Yeah.
But because at least with people, I want to believe that people here, at least in home base, when I say home base, I mean pill.net or the foxhole.app. I want to believe that we are the people that step outside of the box, and we're able to see more than the normies can.
Well, no one's been able to see you yet, so how could you assess that? No, just kidding.
Says who? There have been a few people that have seen me. You've seen me.
Last time it was like, what, 2, 3
Dude,
people?
WC Craneop's seen me. Tam Growl's seen me.
What?
Her husband's
and
seen me.
The Texan's seen you.
Yeah, he's seen me too. The Brothers Uncensored, they both saw me. Him and his brother.
Oh, that's a whole lot more than you remembered last time.
Who else seen me?
That's good though. They're like, Speak has beautiful hands. We should go to that show. We should go to that show.
What are you talking about, man? Anyhow, go ahead and read on, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I can assure you, Speak's voice is not the voice of someone who is only made for radio. Okay, that's
what are you
all
talking
I'll
about,
say.
dude?
What do you mean what I'm talking about?
What are you talking about? Man?
You never heard the phrase like you were made for radio. You know what that means,
yeah,
right?
I know what that means, but I don't even think I'm made for radio. I mean, I barely got any followers on all my social media, so what makes you think that?
Well,
the links are always posted up there and people don't follow me.
Your voice is made for radio.
Really? Is it? I mean, I think it's just a mic, dude. It's a condensed mic.
Maybe.
It's a condensed mic.
It sounds pro. Your voice sounds pro.
Because it's the mic, man.
Well, I don't know. Content.
But thank you for that.
That content is what drives your numbers.
I agree.
Not reminders. Okay.
I agree.
Not reminders.
But thank you for that. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you saying that about me. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm not coming on to you either, just so you know. Don't get it twisted.
No,
Okay.
I know you, man. I know you.
Yeah. It's unfortunate I've had to clarify that to people, but that's their thing though anyways. So, okay, so here we go. Let's continue. It says, Jen Toft, who is male and an advisor in FRI, presents himself as a lesbian.
Okay, so we still don't know what FRI stands for.
No, we don't. You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. Okay, so just hold on to your horses.
Let's
FRI.
Let's finish the article first.
Let's finish the article. And it says he presents himself as a lesbian, which means he's just a straight man. Unless he got his wiener chopped off, then he is a trans female lesbian vampire from the planet Mars. No, just kidding.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so FRI. Okay, and then that's how bonkers the organization which supposedly protects young lesbians' interest is. So maybe he's just a pervert, you know?
It could be.
Maybe he's just a pervert.
Dude.
Maybe he's not even transsexual. Maybe he's just a cross-dresser.
Remember, I did an article about that like a few weeks ago about some registered sex offender who claimed to be trans so he can be housed in with the female inmates.
Right, and get them all pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Well, they've allowed it, man. The laws allowed it.
So, all these crazy Norwegians, and it says that how does it help young lesbians when males claim to be lesbian too? Ellingson reportedly said, "You are a man, you cannot be a mother." And you know, that's my argument against what do you call it? Abortion as well. You know why? Because as a man, I don't have the power of creation inside my body. So what the hell? It's not fair that you women do, and then you kill that life.
Right, but I think I mean
it's a joke.
Even though the mother carries the child, I think the consideration of a man too, he has to put his opinion on it too, because he helped create the baby, right?
True. Yeah. Well,
I mean, he should have a say in it too.
Well, tell that to the crazy psycho abortion ladies that want to go have abortions all the time.
And here's my
But you know, most men don't take that point of view though. which I think is why.
You're talking about
People don't-
being pro-abortion?
No, about being able to have a say, like what you just said. Normal men don't say that.
Well,
Okay?
I think the reason why a lot of men don't say that is because
they don't want the baby. They don't want to take care of the child.
The men who have babies out of wedlock, they're not responsible, so they don't care.
That's exactly the point. I think that everyone could see, and that's why I said men don't normally say what you said.
But no, I mean, don't get me wrong. There could be. I'm pretty sure there are men out there who has had babies out of wedlock, and we're faced with the whole thing where the girlfriend or whatever, the hookup wanted abortion, and the man's like, no. Like, I will take responsibility for, and I really commend men who do that, where they they know they've made a mistake, where the only way to fix that mistake is to go follow through with it. And I really commend men who step up to the plate to take the responsibility of their action. I really do,
Yeah, it may not have been a mistake. It might have been a blessing. It might have been exactly what was supposed to happen.
Right.
And I mean, the frames of matrimony, I think, is just a factor in it. But ultimately, matrimony was created for taxation purposes, anyways. So. Foreign Genin Henin Han. That's what FRI stands for, just so you know.
What's it stand for?
Foreign Ninjan. Foreign Ninjan, FRI.
So it's one
a
word?
national organization of LGBT persons in Norway.
Oh.
So whatever FRI stands for is a foreign word.
It's a Norwegian
Go
word
figure.
then, huh? It's a Norwegian word?
A word from Norway, indeed. All right, so it says here, let's repeat this because it's just so tasty. You are a man, you cannot be a mother. To normalize the idea that men can be mothers is a defined form of discrimination against women. Thank you, Ellen Jensen. Like, why don't people think about, now, I mean, it's one thing to be a transsexual, but then to be a transsexual and then take over everything that women do and then just try and push natural born biological females out of the equation, because honestly, this is kind of what it's starting to feel like. It's kind of starting to feel like this entire thing has become a movement against biological women because they have the power of creation in their body.
You know what it is?
What's that?
I think the agenda goes deeper than that. This is part of the whole depopulation, man.
Which means you have to get rid of biological women because they have the power of creation.
Well, either one. It doesn't matter if it's the man or the woman. If you take one out of the equation, there are no babies.
Who can hold a baby and bear it in their body for?
Right, but you take.
Can men do that?
No.
No.
I'm not trying to argue with you, but I'm just saying that
no,
if you take if you take either one out of the equation, you can't have a child. Yes, women can bear the child, but how can a child be created without the male?
You just get some sperm from somewhere, or maybe you just create
you still need a male for that.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Rid of the women?
Huh?
Then why are they getting rid of the women? Because men rule the world?
I really don't know. I don't know. It's an it's an abomination.
Because just think about this. You do need a man in order to create a baby, but if there were no women, would there be any chance of you having a baby? Because some man could just crash on a planet of women out of nowhere, where they wiped out all the men, and all of a sudden your planet is populated again. But if you take out the women who can actually build a baby, the man gets it kicked off, right? But the women build that child, in their bodies. And there's a 0% chance if you wipe out women that you will be able to have a population.
Right. Now,
because men are going to put it anywhere they're going to stick it anywhere they want to. You know what I mean? Anyways.
I don't know about that.
Anyways, most men do. Okay.
I don't know about that. I mean, if worse comes to worse, my right hand is going to be my lover, man. That's if worse comes to worse. But honestly, I think if you take either one out of the equation, and I do agree
No,
that
you're right. Yeah, if you take either one out of the equation,
right.
absolutely.
But I
Right
think
on, like technically, but like, yeah, I mean, you get what I'm saying though about women and why they would choose them to die over men, right?
yes, no, yes,
Because what if the dark overlord is like horny one day and he's like, I'm gonna go screw this woman, and we got population, you know?
right. Well,
I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying.
here's another. I mean, here's another angle that I have too. Just thinking about this, is that it's a disrespect to God too, because if you're feminizing men, that goes against what God made the man for. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's another angle that I take.
It's another insult against creation and natural things. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So why not do a twofer? Make the men women and kill all the women.
I mean, that's what they're doing, aren't they?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it goes on to say Amnesty International is also accusing Ellen Jensen of harassment for saying that
What?
Jen Toft is a man on national television. Well, she was born a man, you know? Norway's hate crime laws were made more draconian last year to make criticizing gender ideology a crime. And Ellen Jensen faces up to 3 years in prison if she is convicted.
Dang.
That is crazy. To certain groups, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That
To
is
certain groups,
that is nuts.
the fact that women and girls are female and that men cannot be women, girls, mothers, or lesbians is considered hateful.
Wow.
Not logical. You know, those groups are the minority, though. They are the minority. It's just that
No,
they've been given all the power.
Yes,
you know?
that's what I was about to say. They have the power, man.
Yep. Ellen said that to Redux, adding that the police are investigating her for campaigning for women's rights.
You know,
see, she's campaigning for women's rights. That's wrong, according to them. Well, this is like a war on women to me, honestly. I'm a man. I don't got to worry about a dang thing, right? You know, as a gay man, why am I even fighting for women? This is disgusting, you know? This is disgusting. This is new territory in Norway, so the outcome of the investigation is important. But if the case is dismissed and if it leads to trial, she added, however, the precedent has already been set by a 2021 case where a Norwegian man was jailed for 3 weeks and fined for misgendering someone
there we go.
who identifies as transgender on Facebook.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Well, mm-hmm. While Americans merely face social media bans for saying men can't be women, in some European countries, making the claim risks actual imprisonment.
That is nuts, dude.
Mm-hmm. Similar threats are also made against those who criticize the LGBT movement. Former Finnish minister Pavi Rasanen faced hate speech charges for citing Bible verses which described homosexuality as shameful and unnatural, as an abomination before God, I think are some of the words used, although she was later acquitted. As we highlighted last year, a Christian pastor in the United Kingdom was arrested by police on the streets of London after a member of the public reported him for the homophobic comment of saying that marriage was between a man and a woman for taxation purposes. Last year, officers in Merseyside took part in an electronic ad campaign outside a supermarket, which claimed being offensive is an offense. No, duh, you really think so? Oh, but they mean by the law. Anyways, in 2019, United Kingdom police investigated the potential hate crime of a transgender woman being turned down for a porn role because she still has a penis. I mean, if it's a heterosexual pornography movie, that is not discrimination. It's a business choice. Anyways, a video published by the United Kingdom government Home Office in 2020 also suggested that insulting someone's appearance now constitutes a hate crime, despite this not being the law.
Dude, this is crazy, dude. And I think what I got out of this article is not so much the title of the article, which is, you know, a lesbian lady telling men that they're not women, they can't be lesbian. It's more of like a free speech kind of thing, right?
Yeah, actually,
I mean,
I think that's the root of it right there.
man. I
The
mean,
way they started to clamp down on free speech.
this is, I mean, it's scary.
Don't be scared. Speak.
No,
Be
but
brave.
no, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
No. What do you mean? No, just kidding.
you know what I mean, as far as like the whole free, like if we lose our ability to say things, like,
Yeah, it's not going to happen here.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, they've already people have been canceled all over the place. What are you talking about?
Oh, let them get canceled. They're not going to take away our First Amendment.
I would hope not.
Mm-mm.
I would hope
No.
not. But you
They're
know,
not.
a lot
They
of
won't. That's what the Second Amendment's for. Remember?
right. But what I'm saying, is that it's already started with some of these social media platforms. They've canceled people out.
They've canceled, they've censored, they've shadow banned, and guess what? We have Elon Musk.
And
No, just kidding.
then we have some politicians saying a bunch of stuff about, you know, hate speech this, hate speech that.
So, do you think they're going to win?
Who?
These people that are trying to cancel us out.
I don't know. I really,
I mean, look at
I
they
don't know.
canceled us. We made other platforms. You know,
that is
they
true.
can't stop it. They can't stop it. You know.
No,
Now,
I agree. I
this
agree.
woman in Norway, that is not going to happen here. It's not. Period. It's not going to happen. There's no way that could happen. Like the only way that could happen is if like I don't know, like a white super nationalist, like skinhead, like slaughtered a whole group of transsexuals, saying "You're all men, you're all men, you're all men. I'm gonna kill you because you're all men," or something like that. Like something with words and action, so they can move on it, right? And they'd actually, he would have to be a super ultra white nationalist skinhead Caucasian male who slaughters a schoolroom full of transgendered children. That's the only way. It would have to be children. They would have to be transgendered. And you know what? It would be even better if it were women who wanted to get an abortion, but they were being held back by pro-life people. So then this guy came and killed them. You see how crazy I'm getting just to make that happen in America? It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I didn't think a lot of things wouldn't happen, but it's happening now.
So you have a lot of faith in like the bad things.
No, it's not that
sounds
it's no. It's not that it's not that I have faith in a lot of bad things. It's more like I don't want to get blindsided by anything. That's what it is. I'm just being cautious because, you know, like I never thought that misgendering somebody would be a crime.
It's crazy.
But apparently in the state of California it was. I don't know if it still is, but it was. And you know, when things happen like that, the possibilities are still there for things to happen. I can never say anything is a for sure. Never. I don't ever want to be the person to say, oh, this will never happen or that would never happen, because you just never know. There's always a slim chance that something may happen. And I'm not being paranoid about the whole the small percentage of it. I'm just being aware of the possibility of it happening here. You know, we all know what these globalists want to do ultimately. It's all about controlling the world. We all know that, right? Some of these countries have already fallen. And they're working hard on this country. And I understand that a lot of people here won't allow that. I do. But you know, you got to understand that there's still a possibility of things to happen. There's always a little slim chance. And at least if you're prepared for that, it'll be easy for you to kind of like, you know.
Saying it's not going to happen does not equate unpreparedness, you know, nor does not, putting your attention on it, you know.
But a lot of people may not think the same way that you do. because even though you may say that, oh, it's not going to happen here, and that doesn't mean that you're not prepared. Somebody may think out there that, oh, it's never going to happen, and might be prepared. So it's just a state of mind. Just like when you say what you just said about you saying that just because I say it's not going to happen doesn't mean I'm not prepared. It's the same thing with me, where it's possible that it could happen, but that doesn't mean that I'm putting all my laurels in that one bitty percent of it happening.
The energy, yeah, that's the most important thing.
I'm just the type of person who want to prepare for things to happen. Because I'd rather have the best thing happen after preparing myself for the worst thing to happen, and I'd rather face. It'll be a lot more better for me to be like, oh, it's a relief that it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of okay. It's kind of like when I started my journey with God. And here's a prime example. Before I decided to get serious about this, I already knew that I would be losing a lot of people in this journey, and I knew that this was not the popular thing to do. And I already knew that I know someday I'd be facing somewhere in the lines between life and death because of my faith. I think people who follow Christ, I think, might face that some point of time in their life. It may happen. I mean, Christians are already, quote, Christians. I don't like labeling myself as such, even though my belief is kind of the same way as Christians are, but
that is what it is essentially, right? With Jesus Christ and all
right.
that.
But people like who believe the same thing I believe in are getting persecuted.
Yeah.
So
that's what I would tell my mom when she's like, someday the great tribulation and Armageddon is going to come, son. So you better beware. And she has faith in it. She believes it. She speaks it into existence every day.
It's happening already.
But that's what I told her. I was like, oh, well, what about the Middle East? What about, in some parts of Eastern Asia? What about Africa? I was like, all those other places, they've had great tribulation for decades already, They've had great, and then we have a whole bunch of people here in the States who believe that Armageddon's coming and they're going to get thrown in the gulag or suffer some kind of heinous death because of their beliefs, and they've been dead for like 50 years already, 10 years already, 20 years already. I mean, so I think I asked that question to someone, is going through life believing that you are going to experience tribulation in Armageddon, how would you feel if at the end of your life it still hadn't come?
Right. But
anyways, I mean, there's no point to that question really, but like I just delivery and tone and emotion and energy is where I come from when I make the statements that I do. Because essentially, obviously, if it's happening in Norway, it could happen here, but I just I wouldn't,
it'll be. Let's just put it this way. Let's just to be fair, it's not going to be as easy if it was here than it is over there. It's not going to be as easy. Like, I don't think people will fold that quickly. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of feel like even the left, not the ones that are specifically attacked by such, like not the males who turn to women who call themselves lesbians. Probably they would be on board with it. But I think even other transgenders or people in the LGBT community may think that is going too far.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so. You know why? Because I am a part of that community and I think this is stupid. So
I mean,
I'm not a unicorn. I'm not a phenomenon. I'm not like the ultra rare gay conservative. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole lot of us out there.
I know. I mean, believe me,
they just don't come out on radio shows and podcasts and stuff like that. I tried to get some people on to like interview them and stuff, but that was a long time ago. So.
But you're right.
There's even a patriotic drag queen, which is interesting, But anyways, she doesn't perform for children.
You are. Well, you're right. I mean, you're part of the community, but you know, it's you're different from those people.
I'm different from the one. Yeah, I know I am. I know I am.
And
but I'm not alone.
And I'm not
know?
saying those people in a degrading way. I'm just saying that those are the people that are not like. What's the best way to say this? Like they're, excuse me, they're the people they're the group of people that, as much as they preach about being accepting and all this stuff, they're quite the opposite of what they say. You know what I mean?
Extremely hypocritical, right?
Yes. They say they're accepting to a lot of things, but dude, like they're, at some point, like now they're accepting like pedos into their group. Like there has to be some kind of,
who's accepting the pedos?
Well, I mean, the pedos are being connected with the alphabet,
right,
with the alphabet community.
I mean, I've seen things where like they'll go undercover into a gay bar with a hidden camera, and they'll ask random, patrons there, if like a really hot like 16-year-old was in here, and you thought they were an adult, and y'all hit it off, and then they told you before you had sex that they were 16, would you still do it? And yeah, in that video, a lot of them were like, yeah, and I was like, oh, that's gross, but that is a definite realistic segment of the community. Look at Milo Yiannopoulos, right? Anyways, so but not all, obviously not all gay people think that it's okay to have sex with an underage adult, or that would be a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or an underage person that would be a child, of any type that's not anything that qualifies for statutory or younger. But it's the ones that are out, I think at the clubs and do all that. Those are the ones that are more obviously, those are all the ones that you see, really. Like they're the only ones that come out. All the other ones stay at home. So anyhow, like me.
I mean, in all fairness, at least for it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. I think when we were all young at one point, we were all young at one point, we go out and be stupid,
What is unfair is that they tried to peg pedophiles with that community.
I honestly think,
which is very telling about the individuals who control things,
Well, I think
because not only do they push a natural gay thing, but they also push the pedophile thing. And what would have come after that, right? If they had gotten away with this whole pedophile thing, the next thing on the menu probably would have been bestiality, and that is just so gross. It's so gross. I don't doubt it.
It just goes beyond what God intended. And also, I think that a lot of pedos have infiltrated, the whole alphabet community. That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion. So,
and I think they were pedophiles before they were homosexual. You know what I mean? Like the people who have this agenda, I think they were pedophiles before they pushed the homosexual agenda.
They're probably victim to it, and it's just a cycle that they're continuing. That there's validity to that too. All right, let's go to the next article, shall we?
Next article. Isn't this riveting conversation, bartender?
It always is, man. It's always a great conversation between you and I. All right, let me
talk about points of view, right? Like we come from two different planets, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
This is so cool. Anyway, so
we do, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that we do agree on, too. It's just a different approach on things, but I think we do agree on some things too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you see that article right there?
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, State Farm's doing it too.
Here we go, guys.
I thought it was just Pizza Hut.
Dude, I don't know where these companies are. Who knows, man? Who knows?
These are great. This is a great article to follow for my next one, actually. And I'll tell you why when we get there.
All right, so this one comes from Fox News. This one's by Brian Flood, Nicholas Lanham. Article was published on the 23rd of May. Article reads, State Farm accused of pushing alphabet plus books on kids. Consumers research launches like a creepy neighbor. Like a creepy neighbor. Who's there?
Like a creepy neighbor, State Farm is there. That's awesome. That's what they get. That is what they get. Freaking perverts.
Man, here we go. The State Farm whistleblower shared internal email with consumers research. You see that little rainbow thing there on the right side too?
America together.
Oh man, Fox News for you, huh?
Yeah, well, this still probably isn't going to make everyone believe. But what might happen is we might have a brand new influx of gay conservatives.
We'll see. We shall see, man. We shall see. State Farm is being accused of recruiting agents to push books about gender fluidity. What's gender fluid? Is that how you feel? Is that what it means? Gender
It's
fluidity?
a feeling. It means like, I'm so emotional. One minute I feel like okay, like a man, and the next minute I'm so crybaby, like a girl, right? Actually, if you want to be specific, gender fluidity means sometimes you feel like putting it in a woman, and sometimes you feel like getting it from a man. Okay, it's sexual.
Oh, so it's a sexual word, fluidity?
Well, no, the idea, is that I'm fluid. I just learned this actually. It's because they feel fluid, which means they just go with the flow. If they feel like, being a woman, they're going to be a woman. If they feel like being a man, they're going to be a man. And then you can also call that pansexual, which is like a homonym, even though it's not.
Okay, so pansexual meaning like you have sex with...
You do it with everyone, right? And that's also what? A bisexual. So these people, just like the atheists, just like to get so complex and feel like they're snooty snoots. And they're so sophisticated because they have all of these phrases and terms and words for the things that they mean, which is the same thing. You're a whore. No, just kidding. You're a slut.
I think a lot of this would be a lot of this wouldn't be a problem if we just were simple people.
Uh-huh.
I think, why would you want some complexity in your life? Why?
You're right. The Native Americans called them two-spirited. And that was easy enough. Not this pan, fluid, cis, homo, hetero crap. Dude. Oh, you're two-spirited. Okay, I get it. I don't need to know anymore. You're two-spirited.
I guess that's a polite way of saying things, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me continue. On young children, and a new ad campaign by Consumers Research slams the insurance giant as a creepy neighbor.
That's awesome.
To spotlight claims by an internal whistleblower. Consumers Research is launching a campaign against State Farm Insurance because recently a whistleblower brought to our attention evidence, email chain traffic, showing that they have been intentionally trying to target kindergarten. Why are they targeting these? I mean, I know why.
Haven't you heard kindergartners are always on time with their payments?
The parents...
They're the most responsible client.
They
tip the best at drag shows.
Oh, gosh, that is so sick.
I know, it's stupid.
The parents
so
of
dumb.
the parents of these children, they should be punished for this stuff. It's
what do you mean by punish?
Like, this is child
You mean by
abuse
God
stuff.
or by the law?
Both. Both, man.
Yeah. If they take them into a gay bar, if they take them to Pride, I mean, there's so many ramifications behind that.
Well, not only that, even to these book reading things where some of these, I guess these.
But you get there's so many ramifications behind that, and I'm talking about civil rights. You know what I mean? The state would have to have a really good case about a drag queen with a sexual record, right? And doing something to a child in order to stop that, because
but a lot of them have already been doing it with
true.
records.
No, it's true. It is 100% true. Child molester all the way to streaking, and I mean, I don't see how they could do that without facing a lot of lawsuits. You know, like it would be like, oh, we know actually the next article will kind of get into that too when we're talking about like countries where it's illegal to be gay. And so, like if that were to be the case with taking the children to gay things, I understand that and I agree with it. But it would have to be something egregious, like that drag queen is sitting there in their birthday suit. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're wearing a gimp mask and all this kind of stuff, then no, I get it. And also doing the
Bring out
whole
the gimp.
the whole strip show stuff. I mean, or dancing in suggestive ways in front of children with not much clothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with their bulges popping out, their ass cheeks hanging out.
The parents need to make that decision I mean, they do what they do because it's their child. They raise their child, but man, I tell you, like, that's indoctrination right there already. If you're allowing this to happen,
and those parents already indoctrinated is a thing.
They probably are already. They probably are.
Why they're doing it. There was a video I saw like a couple of days ago, and it was I think it was in Dallas. There was a Pride children's drag reading, and patriots, Christians, they all, like a group of them showed up, and the parents were waiting outside in this long line with their kids, and they started.
Oh, I saw that video. I think I've seen that
and they're
video.
like, why did you bring? Well, why would you bring your kids here? Like, and they're like, get out of here! They're like, let us get inside and stuff like that. And they were telling them, this is disgusting. Why are you letting your kids do that? So that's going to be more of like a social thing. They couldn't do that any other way.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'd hate to be them when judgment comes. As far as like with God, I really wouldn't want to be in their shoes.
Atheists, so they don't care about that.
Well,
that's your fear, not theirs.
They may not care now, but I guarantee you, when they're faced with judgment and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I should have believed in you," and all this, the punishment will be very harsh.
Which is God's punishment. That's His judgment to reserve too, right? So.
Yeah, but it's just taking away of the innocence of the children, man.
It is.
They don't know any better. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand why they have to do that to just let your kids be kids. That's another thing that I don't get about a lot of parents is that they want their kid to be the smartest kid. They want their kid to know all these things. Like, no, man, just let your kids be kids. They only have one childhood. Let them enjoy it as a child. I mean, we, at least in my generation, I wasn't rushed to grow up. I played outside with my friends, played baseball, played basketball, rode my bike with my friends, did all sorts of stuff. But now it seems that, a lot of parents, they want their kids to be the smartest and the best athlete. I'm like, dude, just let them play, man. Just let them play.
They're living their lives vicariously through their child.
Yes. And then when they become teenagers, when you start pressuring them about growing up and all this, I mean, granted, you're supposed to teach them how to be responsible as they're young, but let them be kids, man. Let them be kids. Let them enjoy that. Let them have a memory of them being kids when they get older, because they're going to remember that. They're going to remember a few childhood things that'll make them smile. I don't know. I still remember a few things of my childhood that still make me smile. But man, I don't understand what the whole thing is to rush these kids to grow up. Like, just let them grow. As they grow, let them play, let them be kids. I don't know. Anyhow, where are we at? Consumers Research is launching a campaign against State Farm Insurance because recently a whistleblower brought to our attention evidence, email chain traffic, showing that they have been intentionally trying to target kindergartners for discussions around transgender issues, sexual identity issues, without notifying their parent. See, this is wrong. Without notifying
And what is
their
it State
parents,
Farm's business anyways? Aren't they like home and
because they're
are they life
always there,
insurance?
man. They're always there.
Is State Farm life insurance though?
They're all sorts of insurance. I don't think
Because let me tell you what, if State Farm's life insurance, what they're doing is setting themselves up for future business. Because State Farm's gonna be like, oh, you want life insurance? Oh, you had a sex change. That means you're more susceptible to like depression and all these other things. Oh, you're gonna have to pay a higher cost on your premiums.
Yeah, I mean, initially you could say that they are. I don't know, man. I really don't. I couldn't answer that.
I mean, it's as rhetorical as it is just a joke, but like, anyways,
It's an
go ahead,
insurance
sir.
company, dude. It's an insurance company.
Yeah, and they want to make sure their future generations have to pay higher premiums because they did self-destructive medication and operations
just-
on their psyche and their soul when they were
They're
kids.
just one of those woke companies, man. That's
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not that
what it is,
complex. I'm just making fun.
man. Without notifying their parents or without their consent, and specifically targeting them in the public schools, which is why I don't have my daughter in a public school. Consumers Research Executive Director Will Hild, Fox News Digital. The internal email that a whistleblower provided to Consumers Research, a nonprofit that aims to increase the knowledge and understanding of issues, policies, products, and services of concern to consumers and to promote the freedom to act on the knowledge and understanding, was sent by State Farm Corporate Responsibility Analyst Jose Soto. It urges Florida agents to take action and provide the alphabet community books to children. Consumers Research deploying mobile billboards, new ad linking BlackRock CEO to China. Interesting. Is that
Yep.
BlackRock
Makes sense.
the
Yep.
is the investment company?
Yep.
State Farm is partnering with the Gender Cool project to help diversify classroom, community center, and library bookshelves with a collection of books to help bring clarity and understanding to the national conversation about being transgender, inclusive, and non-binary.
So what is it? How to have sex with a transgender? Is that
Jeez, man.
the kind of thing they're doing, or what?
Jeez, who knows, dude? No, it's more indoctrination. It's making, I think it's indoctrination. The project's goal is to increase representation of the Alphabet Community Plus books and support our communities in having challenging, important, and empowering conversations with children age 5+. They don't know shit. Kids that age don't know anything about anything. They think that they can put on a blanket around their neck and fly like Superman. No, they don't know anything. So why? Why? You're not empowering them. What you're doing is you're brainwashing them. Agents are key to the success of this program. Nationwide, approximately 550 State Farm agents and employees will have the opportunity to donate this 3-book bundle to their local teacher, community center, or library of their choice. Excuse me. Soto then declared he wanted to find 6 Florida State Farm agents to participate in the project, asking them to highlight the insurance company's commitment to diversity on social media. This is a fantastic way to give back and an easy project that will help us support the Alphabet Plus community and make the world around us better. No, because now you're beginning to see they're pushing this so much that being straight is going to be bad. So how is that making a better world around us? I don't know. Soto wrote, adding, the opportunity to partake is available to the first 6 State Farm agents who respond. I hope a lot of people quit for this. I hope a lot of people that work for that company quit. Seriously. When Consumers Research received a copy of Soto's email from a concerned whistleblower, which the organization later shared with Fox News Digital, Hild wasn't sure it was legitimate, but he quickly found other agents that received the same thing. The first thing we did is, of course, we wanted to verify this information. We reached out to other Florida State Farm agents to make sure that they had also gotten the email. And then we researched some of the materials, specifically the Gender Cool project that's mentioned in the email. If you go onto their website, you'll find that State Farm is listed by name and by their logo as a sponsor and a partner of the project, Hild said. Indeed, the Gender Cool project, which describes itself as helping replace misinformed opinions with positive experiences meeting gender and non-binary youth who are thriving, lists State Farm as a partner. CNN's John Hardwood flamed for minimizing effects. Flamed. I don't know, man. For minimizing effects of inflation on American families, literally unbelievable. Man, this article is longer than I thought. State Farm looks to be targeting 5 years old.
I thought they said kindergarten.
Kindergartners, in fact, in the public schools of inappropriate discussions around sexual identity, Hild said. Okay, I really don't like the idea of children knowing anything about sex, especially at that age.
If they ain't ready for algebra, they ain't ready for sex.
You know, my girl is 10, and I'm not ready to have that conversation with her just yet. Although she's at an age where her body's going to start to change, and eventually we're going to have that conversation with her. Mainly my wife, because I can't tell her anything about how women feel or what women go through when they change. So it's going to be my wife. Mm-hmm. So there definitely is going to be a conversation, but even her being 10 years old, I still don't think that that's an appropriate conversation, because the mind, she still thinks.
Y'all would talk to her about the change, but not about, all the other stuff. I mean, I don't know how that goes with a girl. That's easier with a guy, because, they wake up one day and they're like, what the hell?
Yeah, right? It's easy. Not
and then
only
their
that,
voice starts to change. It's stuff like that.
But yeah, as far as the whole sexual thing, like, okay, the body changes, but as far as like her mind right now, it's not even mature. She still thinks like a little. I mean, she is a little child,
right?
But she doesn't think about. I'm glad she doesn't think about that stuff, because maybe if she did go to public school, then she might have been one of those kids.
Floozies. No, just kidding.
No, she could have been one of. She could have been one of these. Well, why do you think that it's wrong? I'm like, you shouldn't.
And
even
I'll tell
know
you
about
what.
That.
Speak like even after a parent has that important and pivotal conversation with their child about the birds and the bees, there still is no room for them to start talking about the perversion of the birds and the bees. When the birds and the bees start doing it instead of the bees and the bees and the birds and the birds, that could come even later,
No, I agree. I agree.
They don't need to talk about homosexuality. They don't need to talk about anal sex. They don't need to talk about anal beads. They don't need to talk about dildos. They don't need to talk about transgender this, transgender that, and confusion. And do you feel like a girl or a boy? They don't even need to address that.
But
all that stuff can come later.
But here's the thing though. As much as I agree with you, the way society has changed, I have to have that conversation at a certain point, at a more earlier age, for her to be aware of things.
Because of RuPaul's Drag Race, you have to talk about homosexuality to your child.
I do, but she's gonna ultimately choose what she wants to do in her life. Of course, I want her to live as a straight female, but unfortunately, I'm going to have that conversation about that part of sex too. Even though I don't know much about it, but
Oh, come on. Two women get together, they rub their crotches together. How
No,
hard is that?
I mean,
Just kidding. Sorry, audience.
no,
Typically, this is typically this channel is reserved for God, except on Wednesdays.
no, I mean,
I'm just
no,
playing.
it's a conversation, dude, and you know, it's an honest conversation, and it's not like we're blaspheming stuff. I mean, and some of them, even though they're jokes, I know it's bad, but yeah, some of these things that we talk about is in joking content as well. But honestly, I kind of have to. I kind of have to have that conversation with her, as much as I don't want to.
So you're gonna have that conversation, not your wife.
No,
Like your wife's gonna talk about the change, right? And you're gonna have the sex conversation, or like what's your battle plan?
I think getting input from my wife and myself, like I think all three of us are going to be in that conversation together.
That's awesome. That's good. You guys are awesome.
You know, I've had that conversation one-on-one with my son, and it seems like he's fine. You know, it seems like he's fine. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I told you like a few weeks ago. I think I mentioned that when he was in high school, the public high school system back in California, of all places, California, right? He was the only student who did not attend sex education, because I said to him, I said, look, dude, talking about sex has to come from me or your mom or both of us. It can't come from the freaking state of California or some teacher who doesn't even know who you are.
Are you kidding me? I heard a rumor that Gavin Newsom Gruesome is the one who delivers all the sex education courses.
I bet he
to all the
does.
kids. No,
As a
kidding.
matter of fact, didn't he give that sex education to one of his best friend's wife?
From what I understand. From what I understand. I heard
American
she paid for a
Psycho,
second
man.
course.
That's American Psycho right there. If you look at Christian Bale's character in American Psycho, and look at Gavin Newsom, one and the same person. No,
yeah, I totally see it. I mean, Christian Bale's a little bit more ripped than Gavin Gruesome Newsom, but you know, same face, same hair, same smile.
Yeah, same greasy face, same greasy hairstyle, man.
Yes, sir. Crazy, dude. That's crazy.
All right, let me get back to this. This is a long article, so I have to get back to it. The 30-second ad titled "Like a Creepy Neighbor" that mocks the company's slogan begins with a narrator declaring that State Farm says it's a good neighbor before asking. I can just imagine it, man. I can so imagine it. But would be a good neighbor target But would be a good neighbor target 5-year-olds for conversation about sexual identity? Right?
I know, dude. I don't understand where they don't understand that. Like, they think they're liberating the child.
No, the child doesn't know anything.
Do they not remember their childhood? Maybe they don't. Maybe their childhood is so compartmentalized because they were abused. In which case, I get it. But come on. Why would they want that to happen to someone else? And maybe I don't understand because that didn't happen to me. But like, you know, I don't know. It's crazy.
You know, I'm glad that I'm glad that my daughter bugs me about, Dad, can you take me to the pool? Dad, can I play outside? I'm so glad she bugs me about that kind of stuff rather than, Dad, you know, why aren't you accepting of, you know, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm glad she bugs me about that.
Why? How could you love President Trump?
What?
Like, Dad, how could you have voted for President Trump? Dad, why don't you like Nancy Pelosi? Just kidding. Damn, can you imagine that?
I'm so glad. No, you know what's funny though? Actually, I wouldn't even say that's funny. I wouldn't say it's funny, but it's to me it's funny. Some of the people that I used to work with, they would, when we talk at work, they tell me like, oh yeah, my wife is very liberal and so are my children, and it's, we're always against each other, and every time the president speaks, like, it's like they're having a battle in their home about stuff. I'm glad I don't have to put up with that kind of stuff, dude. But then again, you know, I don't really concentrate the whole political thing. I mean, I'll watch things here and there, but not like before, man. It's all about the politics before, but I'm glad I don't have to go through that kind of stuff with my family, at least. You know, the only thing my like I said, my daughter bugs me about, Dad, can you take me to the pool? Dad, can you take me to go get some Italian ice? Dad, can you? I'm like, but you know, I'm happy for that. I'm happy because she's acting like her age, which is what she should be doing. She's bugging me about childly things. She's not bugging me about like, oh, you know, you're conservative, blah, 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 you're Christian, blah. You know, she didn't say that to me, and she better not, because I'd whack her face. I'll right up, straight up, man. I'll give her a slap across the face if she ever talks to me like that. But yeah, I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that. But I've heard horror stories from the people I used to work with about how they would have to deal with their household, and I'm thinking, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, why did you even marry somebody with different belief system as
opposing political points, especially?
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's like one thing you do when you're dating somebody is you try to find a good match for you, you know, and if there's a red flag of opposing views, especially on political points, it's like, was the sex really sex really that good?
I had this amazing experience one time. It was like to the moon and back, if you understand what I'm saying. And at the very end of it, we were just there, and he was like, "Don't you just hate Trump?" And I was like, "Ah, you have to say that. You don't talk about dinner. You don't talk about politics at the dinner table. It was such a good steak. It was nice and juicy, and it had a pink warm center and everything." Damn it.
Well, I guess needless to say, that was a good buy. I mean,
yeah,
that was a hard goodbye, wasn't it?
Goodbye. It was a bittersweet goodbye, because I can tell you one thing. He told me no one else had ever given him a dinner like that before. And, you know,
man,
I was like, damn it, you. Yeah, anyway, that was the last time I saw him.
Oh. Sorry to bring that up. Sorry to make you have that memory,
steak was
man.
a whole lot better than like a turkey sandwich. So.
Oh, turkey sandwich. I'll tell that story later on.
Oh, man.
I think I'll share that story. I think I'll share that.
That's for the future. That is something for you guys to just hold on to for now.
So you think I should wait?
Oh, are you going to tell it now?
Not now, but I'm talking about maybe later on.
Yeah, no, later on. Yeah, that's what I mean by hold on.
All right, let me finish this article, man. This is a long one.
Yeah. So
that's okay. That's what State
You're
Farm
not
is
even
doing.
halfway done.
Nope. Asking employees to donate guides to being transgender to public schools, books aimed at kindergartners questioning their identity. Really? Well, I mean, oh gosh, I don't even want to. It's textbook indoctrination, the narrator says. You think? These books don't belong in elementary schools, and State Farm shouldn't be putting them there. Like a creepy neighbor, State Farm is there. Consumers Research ad urges Levi's, American Express to serve customers, not woke politicians. Oh, please don't tell me American Express is part of that, because I am an avid user of American Express cards.
Don't doubt it.
Oh, geez. Consumers Research also unveiled like a creepy neighbor. Whoa, they got a website now, where additional information and ways to take action are provided. The email that State Farm agents received is also posted on the website. What Consumers Research is hoping to do here is to educate consumers, customers of State Farm, and parents as to their I think I'm a client of theirs, Hild said. I think so. They're set up much like a credit union. Their customers are their member owners. They are effectively so even if you don't have kids and you are a State Farm customer. This is being done in your name, and we think that it is very important thing for customers in this case, owners or controllers, members of the company to be aware of things be aware that's being undertaken in their name. Following the release of the ad, State Farm said participation, in the program is strictly voluntary, and the insurance company's participation evolved quickly, and the decision was made several months ago for participation not to share resources with schools. At State Farm, we are committed to diversity and inclusion. Dude, who cares? They aren't just words. Well, they are to me.
So what they're doing is they're including their pedophile clients and making them feel comfortable. That's what they're doing.
These companies,
not the children, not the gays, not the transgenders. It's the pedophile clients
these companies have just gone far out, dude. They have. They are truly part of how we do business and lead our organization. It's probably because the top person in those companies are. You know
what that just made me think though, right? The owner or the head at BlackRock, that Fink dude. Do you think that he runs around with Klaus Schwab in a little lace crotch? Do you think that's what's up here? Like all of these companies are owned by BlackRock. It's because he's a freak, you know? That Mr. Fink, he's a freak, you know?
I still remember that picture.
Yeah, that's like burned into the minds of everyone from here until
it's hilarious.
Eternity.
I ain't gonna lie, it's a hilarious picture. We recognize
he's trying to be sexy, just so you know.
I think I think the prime of him being sexy is way past.
Tell that to him. We're all his victims now, you know that, right?
He's got that hush puppy cheeks going, man.
Lord, no.
We recognize and value the diversity of there's that word again, of all people, and support a culture of respect and inclusion in the communities in which we live and work, as well as our workplace. The Alphabet Plus community is a valued part of the communities we serve and are valued members of our workplace. State Farm told Fox News Digital in a statement. You know, that's a minority though. The LGBTQ plus that's a minority, dude.
It is.
Kindness and respect is expected in all our interactions and extended to everyone we do business with across all segments of society. State Farm continued, we embrace diversity and inclusion because it's the right thing to do. That's something that doesn't need to be said. I mean, everybody should know. Everybody should know.
Embracing diversity and inclusion also does not mean teaching kids and grooming kids, you know?
I would always think to myself that the person who has to say something like that is quite the opposite of what they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's,
Yep.
We work with a variety.
I'm not racist. No, just kidding.
We work with a variety of organizations and causes that express their own unique views and support civil and open dialogue on challenging topics. Hild wants other State Farm whistleblowers to step up since the email indicated it could be a nationwide directive.
You think that's going to apply here in Texas?
What is?
Or Florida?
For what?
Oh, that they're going to make this nationwide with State Farm? I was like, wait, Nationwide is an insurance company.
Well, I will say that. I mean, I do live in the Austin area, so
yeah, but that's not the state of Texas. Just like Kiev is not the country of Ukraine.
Well, when you say the state of Texas, I mean Austin is part of Texas, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not the state of Texas, so it could fly in Austin. Maybe they'll do it regionally in the Austin area.
I think the big cities will definitely, even your side, your
my city, yeah. I mean, San Antonio eats whatever Austin shits. So yeah, obviously we're gonna do that.
So I mean, even Dallas and I mean the major cities. Major cities are always. I don't know what it is about.
But it would be a
major
regional
cities,
thing, though. Is what I'm saying. Like it wouldn't be statewide necessarily.
I would hope
Because
not.
you know there are still more people in Texas than there are in the city centers in Texas.
No. You're right. You're right. But
Yeah.
but it's always the cities that get the highlights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, with the exclusion of El Paso, the entire entirely west of Austin is nothing but conservative and Republican. With the exclusion of El Paso, you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't
El
get
Paso's
to. I
the
don't.
only
You know. I don't really
blue
hang out.
pocket out there.
I don't really hang out outside. I mean, I don't go out much.
Yeah,
You know,
neither
it's kind of weird because I'm a DJ, right? And you'd think that, yeah, no, you know,
I thought you would be vibing with the gays. They're the highest paying. No, just kidding. You know what? Here's the thing about the gays is they will try and pay you in trade, and you know, obviously you can't pay your bills with trade. So.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for giving me the heads up on that.
They will. They'll be like, you can go around the corner. Anyways.
Anyhow, hey DJ Kritisu, thanks for coming by, my friend. That's my
day.
brother right there, man. He's in California right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's in California.
Have a day.
Thanks a lot for the shades, brother. Thank you. Let me continue this. We would love to hear from people who may have been affected or by this, or maybe were asked to do this. If they were a State Farm agent, we will obviously keep their identity private, but it would be great to know how far this extended. How many kids may have been affected, he said. Everyone can expect the consumers' research is going to be taking this message across the nation and also to State Farm, wherever we deem it relevant, Hild said. Their shareholder meeting would absolutely be a place where we think, man, my throat is just messed up today. We think they should probably hear from American consumers. Consumers Research has previously launched campaigns against other companies, including BlackRock, Levi's, and American Express. Oh, gosh. No. Okay, looks like am I towards the end? Yes, I'm towards the end. After the news broke, State Farm emailed employees announcing they would no longer be participating in the Gender Cool program.
Huh.
Smart business decision. Or
Right.
not. I mean, they shouldn't have done it to begin with. State Farm's support of a philanthropic program, Gender Cool, has been the subject of news and customer inquiries. This program that includes books about gender identity was intended to promote inclusivity. This is stupid, man.
Yep.
Conversations about gender and identity should happen at home, I agree, with parents. When the child is mature enough to understand that, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We don't support required curriculum in schools on this topic. We support organizations providing resources for parents to have these conversations. We no longer support the program allowing for distribution of books in schools. Well, at least you know where that company stands.
Right.
You know, they showed their cards. We will continue to explore how we can support organizations that provide tools, and resources that align with our commitment to diversity and inclusion. They're still using those stupid words. We recognize and value the diversity. How many times have I said diversity? Of all people,
I've had a shot every time you said it. No, just kidding.
and support. Man, imagine if you did.
My bottle's done. No,
Yep,
just
it sure would be done. And support a culture of respect and inclusion in the communities in which we live and work, as well as our workplace. There we go. I got it done.
Woo! Shots all around.
So
everyone.
yeah,
No, just kidding.
if you're a State Farm insurance user, I think I think we are. I'm gonna have to start looking for another insurance company, dude.
You know, that's what we're saying. It's got to be. I mean, if we're not going to make the change with a socio-political statement, like, I don't know, writing to our congressman or representative or voting, you know, with your wallet, you could be just as effective.
Exactly.
Particularly since these people are all about the money. They will fold if they know that they're going to lose money, because it's happened. It has happened.
Yep. Hey, Blonde BLQ, thank you for coming by tonight.
Blonde Blue Lady Q.
Subpack Vet is in the house as well. Thank you guys for hanging out at the bar. Thank you for choosing the bar, despite all the other cool shows that are going on. More cooler than me, I guess. I don't know.
You guys got here just in time for the free shots.
Which free shots to myself. Oh man. Okay, so that, I guess that article kind of segues into yours next.
It does. Yes, it does. And I'll tell you where it does, because it's about I'll tell you where it does.
Yes, no, you know, just let me know. You let me know when you're about
there's a couple of things I got to say about this next article. So very interesting.
All right, let me do the share screen on your end.
I'm like trying to remember what the point was.
All right, can you see that?
Okay, I sure do.
Okay, let me share it with everybody else. Boom! It's a man.
It's a man. I dare you to get him as a guest on your show.
Man,
I dare you. I showed him to my sister the other day, and she was laughing her ass off. She's like, "It's a man."
He's got that thick Jamaican accent too, man. That's what makes it so hilarious.
Do it. It's hilarious. Hilarious.
Oh boy. Here we go. Hey, this article, I don't know. I can look at it. Okay, there's two ways you can look at this thing.
Yes. How would you look at it, Speak? And don't forget, all humans feel that way. No, just kidding. Not just the gay ones.
No, I mean, generally speaking, okay?
Generally speaking.
And I'm talking about the liberal ones, of course. The liberal alphabet community people, they always want to get into these fights with conservatives, and conservatives are normally pretty good about, like,
I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, no. They try not to get into conflict with the liberal side of the line, because the liberal side of the line, they like to provoke things. Right? Well, now here's let's see what they think about combat. Combat is no joke.
Yeah.
we talked about this briefly before the show. And I've never been in combat. I was not in the military. I've never been in combat. I've been in conflicts, but not combat. Okay, so it's different. But nonetheless, I've been in conflict with crooks, and having that feeling of adrenaline and all that stuff. I don't want to have to get into any conflict. That's just me. When I was a deputy, I never want to get into any conflict, because I don't want to be put in a situation where it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Not only that, but I was a little bit older. I mean, when I was working there, I was like an older deputy, so I was like, yeah, I don't want to get hurt. Like, even though I got insurance, and even though the departments can pay for whatever, like, I don't want something permanent to happen to me where it's going to affect me the rest of my life. So I was just one of those dudes who just didn't want to get into conflict. But that doesn't mean that I will not get into conflict, because if needed, I'm always down for a good fight. I really am. But I don't want to have to get into that point, So the point I'm trying to make is, people who have been in that situation of combat or conflict, they usually don't want to engage, because they know the outcome of it. If you look at it, nobody wins.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with everything that you said, but it's it's the left in general, not just the left gay ones that want to get into that conflict. You
Right,
know?
right, right.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so this was okay. So I'm sure a lot of you guys, we just saw this now. Like this article is from Forbes, and it was published in March. But none of us knew. I didn't know, anyways, that the homosexual faction within the Ukrainian army was proudly displaying a label of who they are on the battlefield with Ukraine until June. Like I didn't know about that until June 1st, you know, when it was like Gay Pride Month or whatever. And or when it was, I guess it is. I don't know. I mean,
so is
what
that
the hell we
is,
need? What the hell do we need a whole month for? I don't know.
Is that
But
Pride
anyways,
thing worldwide for June?
I guess so. I mean, I thought it was just an American thing, like Juneteenth, guys. Don't forget Juneteenth is coming up, you know. And I guess it is because, well, you know, maybe it's not because these guys were wearing this article, like I said, is dated March, but we here in America didn't find out about it until June 1st. And I think the Gateway Pundit on June 1st published an article about all these gay things, or was it Breitbart? One of the independents I read, they published a whole bunch of gay things on June 1st. So I don't know, maybe they're stigmatizing it. I'm not sure, you know, but this article's from March. So, but I didn't find out about it until June. And I thought it was a pride thing. I was like, oh, well, the gay Ukrainian unicorn battalion is like marching on the battlefield because it's, you know, Pride Month, but it probably is American. But they just didn't tell us about this until Gay Pride Month, I guess, because it's like, you know, hot clickbait topic, you know. It's what do you call it? It's happening right now, so that kind of a thing. But I thought this was interesting. There's a lot of different things that you could, well, I was kind of pulling out of this. Ukrainian LGBTQ soldiers fight against darkness of Russian invasion, right? So already, like, you know, Forbes has everything wrong. But, you know, because that made me wonder, though, okay, is it that the commanders of the Ukrainian armies force them to self-identify, or is it that they wanted to, or is it that they did it for Pride Month, which now I know they didn't because this article's from March, because there are, like, the transsexuals I was telling you about speak, like, when the civilians who were lucky enough not to get shot in the back by their own army were trying to flee, like transgenders were trying to flee as well. And we're talking about trans females, which means they were born male.
Okay.
And they were sending them back, and they were telling the trans women that they were born men and they had to go fight. And they're like, but we're a woman, look, I chopped it off. And they're like, no, you have to go fight. You're a man. You were born a man. Go and defend your country. Go and defend the Nazis, right? Go support the globalists, you know? So I was just kind of like, that raised a lot of questions to me. But anyways, I was like, this should be one to read because it's so interesting. And indeed, this is really news. Like, is it really that important that we have gay battalions out there? You know, I mean, just why do we, you know, that's not.
I don't think it matters in the battlefield.
Yeah, it's not a particular of war, and it's not a particular of service to your nation that is important.
Like, you're not
what you are.
Like, you're not like, okay, so in the middle of a gunfight, you're not going to stop and look at your partner and say, hey, you want to have a quickie? Like,
yeah, you know,
stupid.
Or even just say, just so you know, I'm gay. You know, like, you know, you're not going to do that. Or I was born a man. You know, like, you're not going to do that. You know, I mean, a transsexual wouldn't do that anyways. A transsexual would not be like, I was born a man, because they're probably hoping they could, you know, like, lie down with that person anyways, and you know, it would just ruin it. Their chances.
I mean, in the middle of a gunfight. Oh, by the way, I have a hard on for you.
You know, and that's why. That's why there's this whole thing about gays in the military, because before you know it, you know, the freaking the colonel or the platoon chief walks in and they're all screwing each other, you know. And then on the battlefield they start shooting at each other because someone got to screw so and so. So, you know, and I'm not saying that men do that, but what I am saying is, if you have an attractive, effeminate man in a place like that, there's always that possibility. Okay. And
True.
I'm also not saying that I like effeminate men. I'm just saying most straight men, if they're going to lay down with a man, he's going to be effeminate because then they don't feel as bad. Okay. So, which is, you know, I don't know. Anyways. Okay. So let's get into this article.
Before you
It's
lost.
from Forbes. It was written by Jamie Wareham. And apparently, Jamie Wareham reports on LGBT life, identities, and being queer. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go, Jamie. Jamie says the LGBTQ Ukrainians fear not only for their lives, then why the hell are they in the army? But the persecution of their identity under a potential Russian occupation. Now, this right here, guys, everyone in the audience, okay, another reason why I chose this story is because I hear so many of you guys saying, well, I agree with Putin on this one, but he's still an enemy of humanity. Putin's still a bad guy. Putin's still this, and that. Okay, guys, no one has ever been able to show me an article about Putin being a blood-sucking pagan baby eater, backstabbing, anti-human, globalist piece of trash, Satanist. No one has ever presented those articles to me. The only ones who have ever...
I think the reason why people don't they don't like him is because he was in KGB, and KGB is just as bad as the CIA.
Right, and I need to read. I'm sure there's a book out there somewhere titled Putin's Years in the KGB. I need to read that because maybe that's where this information is coming from, but no one has offered me that. And like over on BitChute, where I'm posting clips for the C Report, I obviously have some of my Russian topics on there. And I get comments like, stupid faggot, don't you know that Putin sends gays to the gulag? And I just respond quite casually, Putin doesn't send gays to the gulag. He sends pedophiles to the gulag. Like, don't you know anything?
No, he doesn't send to the. He doesn't send to the gulag. He injects him with. He castrates them with medicine.
He pumps them up with medicine. Whatever. The point of the matter is that Putin has never done that, to my knowledge, since he's been the leader of Russia. Okay, so already they put this a potential Russian occupation. So I don't know if Forbes is just trying to propagandize, or if they are lying to their audience, or if they're ignorant. But because they are Forbes, I'm willing to bet that they know the fact of the reality, So the Russian regime has made no secret of its prejudice against the LGBTQ community. Okay, the country's gay propaganda law bans children from being shown content about our lives, says Jamie, not me. It's used as a de facto ban on discussing LGBTQ life. Okay, so now here's where we have to clarify, okay? Because this pisses me off, and this is exactly what I'm talking about with this propaganda against Putin, making him sound like he's an enemy of humanity. Jamie, what you need to learn is and that's what it is. He said it right there. I'm surprised that he spelled it out so clearly. Putin has banned children from being shown content about our lives. In other words, Putin has said, look, this kind of content, material, no matter, okay, it's your lifestyle, but children don't need to know about that until they're a certain age. That's the way I was brought up. Like, you can't go into a gay bar until you're at least 18. Why? Because you will be exposed to things that are not proper or decent for a child whose mind is still developing, whose morals are still developing, until you get to a certain age, at least 18. Some people would say maybe you should wait a little bit longer than that, right? But anyhow, so that is it blows my mind that because they don't allow kids to be exposed to homosexual material, that means that Russia and Putin are anti-gay, which is the furthest thing from the truth. Even Putin has used words like diversity. It's just, I don't know how to say that word in Russian, but he said it. And like that Russians and his country, they appreciate that type of I'm going to use the word diversity because I don't know what else to say. Those types of differences in humanity, those and that they do not kill gays, they don't ban gays, homosexuality is not illegal, they don't throw them off buildings, they don't chop off their heads, they don't do raids into your bedroom, okay? But this is a lie that they have spread, about that country, and It's ridiculous, for one. And then for two, Putin said himself, and it was in, I think, part 3 of the Oliver Stone interviews with Putin, and they were addressing the homosexual matter. And he said there are perverts that have attempted to get into, to infiltrate into children's lives. And they have done this by way of introducing things about homosexuality and the diversity of life. And it's like they tried to run this program in Russia years before they did here in the States. And so that has been banned. He said homosexual propaganda against children is illegal, not homosexuality, not how you choose to live your life. And Jamie, just in case you didn't notice, being homosexual does not equate with pedophilia. And so we have no reason to be teaching that to children, no reason whatsoever. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to, the life of a whore and a prostitute. We need to teach that to children just in case they want to be a whore and a prostitute. You don't do that stuff.
I think that there's 2 things that they're doing there, whether it's directly or indirectly. They're for sure they're indoctrinating children, and another could be a hidden agenda to kind of groom the child to, I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, that is, yes, we already know this, Speak. Like, that's exactly what they're doing. They're grooming the children. So that they're more susceptible to being abused, and they're more susceptible and to allowing people to molest them and to touch them and to have sex with them and to think it's normal. Like Oprah said, if it feels good, it's not bad. Yes, 100% Speak. We've had these conversations before, and I'm sure the audience understands that as well. And it's just all of that, Speak, what you just said and all of the above. It's just not acceptable, for children. And it pisses me off that, how I say, like, patriots already have such a hard battle uphill trying to restore this republic. Why are we going to make it harder for us to talk about flat earth? I feel that way about homosexuality too. Not that it's not hard anymore. I mean, I didn't grow up in the 50s, 60s, 40s, and 30s and 70s where, it literally was something that you would face consequences for, but being that there's been a stigma around homosexuality, why would you want to make it harder for yourself and encourage like drag queens with a sexual predator arrest on their record teaching kids how to read? Like, why would you do that? Why would you twerk your ass cheeks hanging out in front of a child, when there's already a stigma around gays being perverts? It's stupid. They're so stupid.
Well,
it just pisses me off.
I honestly don't think it's out of stupidity. I honestly think they're doing that shit on purpose.
Yeah,
because they're
the ones that go along with it without thinking. They're the stupid ones.
No, well,
they're all teaching kids diversity.
That's the
they
parents.
don't see it.
That's the parents who are stupid.
No. I'm talking about the gays who are out there as drag queens twerking, and maybe they don't have a sexual, because not all of them do. Speak. Not every drag queen is a sexual predator. Maybe they're all drug addicts. Maybe they're alcoholics, but they're not all sexual predators. There are decent gay people who are not conservative out there, and we couldn't blanket homosexuality with being perverted and some filth of society. I mean, that would just not be fair to humanity, period. But there are those out there that do mind their P's and Q's, that do abide by the law, that don't believe in Antifa and BLM, and they don't vote Republican, and it's not, but those are the ones that are stupid, or the ones that are like, and they just go along with it because they think that that's what their tribe is about, and it's not true. It's not true at all.
Or they could be part of it too.
That's the reverse of what I'm saying. Speak.
No. I know what you're saying.
I'm talking about
they're either.
My point is what you just counterpointed me with.
No. But what I'm saying is that yes, you're right, but they could. It could be because they're with it too. It's a two-way kind of thing.
And I'm saying that no, duh. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm acknowledging that there are those who are not with it. I'm saying that, because obviously those who were not with it would not be not with it if there were those who were with it, which is what we're talking about.
Right.
So Yeah, anyhow, so now here's the next big whoop from this article that I think needs to be addressed, okay? Because they've already said this and that about Russia and the gays, but then they do this. The horrors of the gay purge in Chechnya stand out as a frightening event in recent Russian history. The violent attack on LGBTQ people in that region also shocked the world. Now, I have to say, this was the pause I was talking about initially. Speak is because they are conflating the actions of the Chechnyans with the with Putin being against children being taught gay content. Okay,
Aren't the
which is
wasn't the Chechnyans a Muslim community?
the Chechnyans, exactly. Speak the Chechnyans. Not only are the Chechnyans a Muslim community, not a community, they are a Muslim republic within Russia. And the Chechnyans have been at war with Russia for over 200 years, which means while technically they are Russian, they are not Russian, and they do not represent that entire landmass that is known as Russia. That is like what, 2 or 3 times the size of our country? Like, and this writer in Forbes is trying to say, because what the Chechnyans did, who have been at war with Russia for a long time, up until I think, and I'm not going to read the article that the other part that I was going to read, but they were at their latest conflict, I think ended like in 2010 or 11. It was like a 10-year war. It might have been later than that, but now apparently, no, it was 2009 was when the second one ended. They had the Chechen Russian wars, 2 of them, 94 to, I think 92 to 94, 3, and then 99 to 2009 was the other one, where they were literally just killing each other, and I really am interested in digging into that now to find out exactly what's going on, because with this whole Ukraine thing going on, apparently the Chechnyans have aligned with the Russians, which everyone's like, ooh, like the Chechnyans are aligning with the Russians. And then doing a little bit of reading on that, come to find out the former president of Chechnya was assassinated, and now his son is the president, which is this republic within Russia. And apparently the son is friends with Putin. So everyone's trying to say, well, this son answers to Putin, right? And these massacres that they're writing about here, the genocidal attack, happened 2017 to 2021. So I was like, okay, so that does put them in a time span where the Chechnyans were technically allies and friends with the Russians, right? But then I also read an article that this guy, the son of the assassinated president, goes into battle wearing Prada.
Wow.
I was like,
hey,
he's gay.
No, well, he's
one of those closet cased extremists that's like, like he bullies the kid because he's attracted to him.
Well, here's a little fun fact. I don't know if you know or you may not know, but here's a little fun fact about in World War II. You know who designed the Germans' uniform?
Hitler.
No, it was Hugo Boss.
Oh yeah, Hugo Boss. My bad. Yes,
Yeah.
I did know that.
Yeah. So I mean, technically,
Hitler designed the Volvo logo.
I mean, technically speaking, the Nazis wore some very high class stuff to battle, man.
Why do you think Hugo Boss got so big? Yes, I did know that. And it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Volkswagen. Hitler was an artist, before he was a dictator. So anyhow, okay, that's why all of their formations were so intricate. I mean, it was all about the eye. There's this movie, I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a very long movie, and I think it was Antonio Banderas who played Adolf Hitler, and it was all about Hitler as an artist, as a dictator, and how everything that he did was based on that, from the perspective of an artist, from the colors, the gray and red and white, to the designs, to the swastika. Everything was by design because he was an artist. And he just happened to be selected by the globalist establishment to be their dictator or whatever, So anyhow, interesting stuff. I mean, man, history, guys, like all of that, unknown. to us, and it's far further from the truth than the things that we've been told.
It is.
It's insane. Okay,
So
so it
Prada.
says
Let's go with this Prada
he goes
guy.
into war wearing Prada. It's like the Chechnyans wear Prada, I think that is just so funny because like when I think Prada and men, I think gay, and so I'm like, oh, he's gay.
Hey,
like,
the Pope,
this guy's gay.
The Pope
he's
wears
gay.
Prada too.
I heard that,
Mhm.
right? With the little man boy love triangles on it.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Help us. No, just kidding. Anyhow. Okay, so now we're going to get into the Ukraine part. It says, and now their invasion of Ukraine has shocked the world. Before it even took place, there were scary reports. Plans to target LGBT, let me just say it the way I like to say, LGBTQ people who Russian defines as dissidents. No, Russia does not define LGBTQ as dissidents unless you're a freaking pervert. Or if you want to qualify it, a pedophile, because some people think that gay people are perverts. Anyways, as descendants were discussed in a letter from the US to the United Nations. Russia has a list of journalists, activists, and gay rights advocates who could be killed or sent to camps after the invasion of Ukraine. How much you want to bet that the United Nations is the one that sent them that list? They're like, oh, by the way, these are all our gay activists that are coming. By the way, these are all our gay journalists that will be in your area. And it doesn't just say, for the protection of our journalists, if you capture this person and this is their identification, they're a journalist. So per war crimes and Geneva Conventions, all that, you cannot kill them. They're a member of the press. They're not an enemy combatant. But for the gay ones, they make sure to specify they're gay, right? Anyway, so it says,
yeah, they got a little unicorn patch there.
Yeah,
unicorn patch.
Look at that, right?
Looks
It's
all
they put a
tactical,
target
too.
right on them, right? The Chechnyans know to go for those ones, right? Like like extreme prejudice, It's why LGBTQ Ukrainians have been telling me about their rush to hide their identity online. Wait. Okay, Forbes just contradicted themselves, because if the Ukrainian soldiers are so afraid about people finding out Russians that they're gay and that they hide their identities online, why the hell are they wearing a unicorn patch?
Who knows?
We just debunked this story, ladies and gentlemen. That's bullshit. This is probably a story designed for the West that has nothing to do with the reality of Ukraine and nothing to do with the reality of what's going on over there. I'm telling you,
it's probably one of those stories where it's just a headline read, and that's it.
And a photo shoot, right?
Yeah.
A headline read and a photo shoot. That's all. These probably aren't even Ukrainian warriors in this. These are probably freaking hired models from like Los Angeles.
Prada models.
They're in Prada uniforms with the Prada unicorn patches. Oh my God. Oh wait, they're Nazis, so they're actually Hugo Boss Prada like crossover. Anyways, yeah. It's why LGBT. Oh wait, they want to hide their identity online. How they spent the first days of the invasion deleting data app accounts. Too late. China already has all that data. Clearing their WhatsApp messages of anything WhatsApp? Queer. Yeah. They already got that data. It's too late. Now, as war rages on, 3 weeks in, many of them are fighting with Ukrainian patches on. They're just kidding, in the Ukrainian army. If Russia wins, LGBTQ people in Ukraine will lose everything. Oh my God. It's not the nation of Chechnya that's taking over Ukraine. If that were the case, the LGBTQ community is did I read that right? The LGBTQ community is in huge danger should Russia win. Vlad Shast, a Ukrainian territorial defense volunteer, tells me. Shast is only 26 years old and therefore knows nothing about life, and is a queer performer popular on the Ukrainian LGBTQ scene. Once known for a drag act, Shast is now using his contacts as a stylist to help the army find materials and supplies. Good luck with that, right? He's like, here's this curling iron. If Russia wins, it means darkness. There will be no freedom, no opportunity to be yourself. no rights for diverse community. This is again so stupid because the Azov battalion and all of the neo-Nazi, no, they're not even neo-Nazis, all of the Nazi ultra-nationalist white supremacists would literally put Shast's jaw on a curb and step on the back of his neck. I'm just saying. They got this twisted. And do you think that the unicorn soldiers in Ukraine are fighting alongside the Nazi battalions? Probably not, because the Nazi battalions would rape them first, and then they would shoot them, or something much worse than that, than shooting them. I mean, like, this is so ass backwards. This gets a little frustrating, even though I'm not frustrated. I'm just excited. It gets so the levels of convolution that these people are throwing out there just to make themselves look like they have the moral upper hand is disgusting.
I'm telling you, this is just a headliner reader.
Yeah. And thanks, James, or whatever your name was, Jamie, who put this article together. I mean, Jamie's probably just as brainwashed and roofied as everyone else is on the left. Everyone's roofied on the left. They're all getting raped by their masters anyways, and they don't care. They're like, give it to me as long as I'm passed out. It was tough to be LGBTQ in Ukraine even before the war. Okay, so now let's qualify this whole article, Jamie. So apparently it was already tough in Ukraine, right? But yet gays are running free in Russia. Anyway. The country's religious society has a high level of anti-LGBTQ sentiment. Despite this, Ukraine was a refuge for Eastern European LGBTQ people who had to flee their countries. Now, let's not confuse Eastern European or Eastern Asian or Central Asian countries with Russia, because plenty of those guys in there, like Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, they're all Muslim. So yeah, it's going to be hard, but that is not Russia, and Russia does not equal that side of that hemisphere of this planet. Despite this, Ukraine was a refuge for Eastern European people. Okay, I know many LGBTQ people from Russia, Belarus, and Kazakhstan, excuse me, who moved to Ukraine in recent years because of discrimination in their home countries. Yura Vizon, a Ukrainian film director and Ukraine Pride co-founder, told Jamie, Ukraine has been a refuge for them, and now they may lose it. Despite the tough sentiment, Ukrainian LGBTQ people had been making incredible progress in recent years. Why? They were almost having sex with children in the streets. No, just kidding. While with the right to protest and an increasing number of pride marches, the community had been fighting for their rights in the open. Yet now, Ukraine Pride is focusing on funding and supporting LGBTQ people fighting in the military. If Russia wins, LGBTQ people in Ukraine will lose everything they have achieved in recent years. They'll be sent right back to the closet. Putin's attack is on democratic liberal views. Okay. How? I don't know. And then they use the word democratic as if though that's supposed to describe civil rights.
Like freedom or something?
I mean, I don't know. When I hear that word democratic, I just hear Democrat, which is left-leaning, liberal, progressive, so self-avowed communists and socialists.
It's mob rule, dude.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people use that and equate it to freedom, because it's not.
It's not. You're right.
It's not.
Stupid.
Mob rule doesn't equate to freedom. Hell no. It equates to freaking communism is what that equates to.
Yep. The war has united Ukrainians. Oh, really? Except for the ones that are getting shot in the back? The ones that are being used as human shields? The ones that are being held hostage? Really? It's clear that protecting democratic and liberal values are the source much of Ukraine's will. It is why Vlad Shast has had no issue being openly LGBTQ while supporting the defense of his country. Shast says, "I do not have to act like someone I am not here. No one cares about my identity or sexual orientation. There is a big deal. There's a big goal to win and make Russian troops leave our country. Well, then stop giving blowjobs to Nazis. Anyways, reading. Reading, but I mean, never mind. We're not going to go there. Reading this might not be a surprise. Why would sexuality be on anyone's mind right now? I can assure you it's stark. Prejudice creeps up in the strangest of places for the LGBT community. Oh, it does. And it's usually mostly on their own part. Okay. You're too fat. You're too old. You're too bald. Oh, wait, I'm describing me in the gay community. Anyway, indeed. Indeed, history has shown us many times that in times of crisis, it's marginalized communities like us who suffer the most. Oh, well, I wonder who would suffer more if there were black people in Ukraine. Shast, you were the black people.
This is a victim mentality, man.
Yeah, it's exactly what this is. I want to get so crass right now, but I have to think of my audience. Anyways, no one here cares about who I am. I am a victim. I am gay. I am black. No, just kidding. Even the most conservative team members prioritize the fight for freedom over their personal views. Everyone is a human being, and there is a front line for every soldier who joins the defense. If Shasta is saying that, I would wonder what he means by the front line. Anyways, he's like, I'm open for everyone who fights for my country. We function as a whole body.
Sure you do.
Unless you're fighting over
Sure you do.
Unless you're fighting over it. Anyways, where each person understands their value and responsibility. The reason for this is, of course, the powerful goal to defend our national identity, dignity, and freedom, and not only for Ukraine. Putin's attack is on democratic, nope, liberal, nope, values. You have no values that are as equally important for Ukrainians as they are for the rest of the world. Oh, you know what? The last time I checked, the rest of the world did not value ultra-nationalistic Nazis who kill people without even thinking twice. The world, if this gay Shast person who lives in Ukraine cannot even see it for what it is, then I don't mean to sound so pessimistic.
He's part of the propaganda.
No one in America who's asleep to it may ever see it either. And I just want them to know. I don't care how they feel about it. I don't care how they react to it. I just want them to know that they're supporting Nazis in Ukraine. Yeah, that's it. For the more stories on LGBTQ, read the rest of this asshole's articles. Jamie Wareham, okay? Jamie Wareham. He is a journalist, a digital content producer. Well, he's done more with his life than I have mine, so I guess I'm not one to talk. Anyways.
Why are you being so judgmental?
I know, right? Got to take them rafts out of my eyes.
All right, let's see. Man, we're running overtime here. All right.
We are. We're way overtime, dude.
Having a good time, though. I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time.
We sure did. We sure are.
All right, let me prepare the next article here. Let me get you on screen share. This one's not going to be too long. I don't think it is. Yeah, this is not going to be too long at all. All right. This is the final article of the night. Probably not as exciting as we built it up to be, because usually I like to leave the really good articles for last, but I thought about bringing this in because I had an interesting discussion with my wife, who is Japanese, who was born in Japan and who has lived in Japan for many years before I married her. And she gave a very interesting perspective to me. So I'm going to read the article, and then I'll kind of discuss what my wife and I have discussed about stuff that the liberals have done. Okay.
Interesting.
So this one comes from the ladbible.com. Article is written by Jaden Collins, published on the 2nd of June of this year. Article reads, Japan to approve an abortion pill that can only be used with partner's consent. although I disagree with the whole abortion pill, I'm glad that there's at least that, where the other participant, the male, is able to put their. We were just talking about this, right? Where the male is actually, has a say in this, which is good. It's good. It's a good thing. The abortion pill is set to be approved in Japan by the end of the year, but there's just one catch. Women will have to first seek their parents' consent or partner's consent. I'm sorry, before being prescribed.
I was like, dang, the kids, parents don't even have the kids yet.
No, it was my dyslexia kicking in. While Japan will be catching up to the likes of Australia, which legalized the pill in 2006, and the United Kingdom, which legalized it in 3 decades ago, their consent law has been criticized by women's rights group. Spousal consent is currently required for surgical abortions under Japan's 1948 maternal protection law. The legislation to approve the medical abortion pill is progressing in Japan after British pharmaceutical company Line Farm International applied to market the drugs last year. According to Bloomberg, of course, another liberal outlet, Yasuhiro Hashimoto, a Japanese senior health official, told a parliamentary committee last month, "In principle, we believe that spousal consent is necessary, even if an abortion is introduced by an oral medication. However, Mizuho Fukushima from the opposition Social Democratic Party," I don't like that already, "was critical of the opposition or of the position. She told the committee, 'Why should a woman need her partner's approval? It's her body.' This is stupid because it takes 2 to make the baby, you dumbass. Women are not the property of men. Their rights, not those of the man, should be protected. The current policy has had tragic consequences, with a 21-year-old woman arrested after her newborn baby was found dead in a park in central Tokyo, according to The Guardian. She told the court she had been denied an abortion as she couldn't obtain written consent from her partner, as she could not be contacted. Doctors had insisted that she obtain consent. Kumi Tsukahara from the Action for Safe Abortion Japan told The Guardian, "Spousal consent becomes an issue is when there is a disagreement with the spouse or the spouse is forcing the woman to give birth against her will. For women being forced into pregnancy, they do not want is violence and a form of torture."
That's crazy.
Tsukahara noted that oral contraceptives were only legalized in 1999 after a 9-year-old legal debate, whereas Viagra was approved in just 6 months. According to Statista, there were more than 140,000 included abortions in Japan. Wow, I did not even know that in 2020. However, it is one of only 11 countries that still require third-party consent. In 2016, the United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women urged Japan to remove the spousal consent requirement.
What does it mean by third-party consent?
I don't know.
Because I mean, certainly they're not talking about the baby. Although
maybe
I would think
the
that
doctor,
is one of the party members.
Maybe it could be a doctor.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Could be a doctor. I don't know.
The baby needs to consent too. No, just kidding.
Okay, so reason why I thought that this article was interesting was because in Japan's history, okay, as far as I know Japan's history, they've always been conservative people to me. Mm-hmm. Always have been. But I've noticed that especially with Tokyo being the big city, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like Manhattan is to, or Times Square and Manhattan. It's kind of like to New York. Big city. I mean, liberalism has just poisoned Japan. And I had this discussion with my wife, and I said, typically speaking, aren't Japanese conservative? Because my wife, she's conservative. She's as conservative as can be. She doesn't believe in abortion, of course, unless there's rape. That's what she explained to me, that she doesn't believe in abortion unless there's rape and, other stuff. And then I kind of got into debate with my wife about that too.
Because it could be Jesus.
Because I told her, like, it's not the baby's fault. Why would you want to kill the baby if it's not the baby's fault? Even if it wasn't. But then again, dude, like, dudes that rape, they don't necessarily want to, I don't know.
They're not trying to make children, right?
Exactly. They're just trying to get some sexual satisfaction from somebody with the feeling of,
just cannot do it.
With the feeling of power on top of it, But anyways, her take.
I don't understand that, but yeah.
Her take with what's going on with Japan is that Western liberalism.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese people want to follow everything that Americans are doing. And, being that media is mostly liberal.
Yep.
The Japanese people see only what the media shows them. And they don't know exactly how American people are generally. Because I think majority of Americans are not as liberal as people from other countries think we are.
Yeah, they think just because we're free, we're all liberal, right?
Yeah, they and not only that, but media is the definite driving force of the influence of how Japanese perceive us as. And it's just sad to see, because my wife has the Japanese television channel on the whole day, so I'm watching part of it is I'm watching Japanese news, and then when they start talking about politics, I don't really like listen to it, politics anymore. But when it comes to that, I'll like listen a little bit, and they start talking about all this liberal shit, and I'm like, why are they like that? And then my wife just tells me, well, truth of the matter is, Japanese people want to copy Americans, and the only way they copy them is through what the media is showing them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a mind blower to think that, women's. I mean, okay, I get the whole old school mentality of Japanese men with women, because back then, like way back when, for example, the Japanese man would walk like way ahead of his girlfriend or wife, because that's just tradition, where it's a cultural thing where the man is more superior than the woman or whatever. But now it's different. It's obviously different now, right? But this whole liberal mentality has definitely poisoned Japan. Because I would have never thought in a million years that Japanese would be pro-abortion. I wouldn't have thought that. Only because I always knew Japanese people as conservative people. But now, reading an article like this, and of course, with other things that I see on the Japanese media, I'm thinking, damn. I asked my wife, how did it become like this? And she tells me, well, Japanese want to be just like Americans. They think that everything that America does is right. And like I said, they get that perspective from the media, not from the actual people. So
that's sad.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy, right?
It is. It is. It is. And this is the reason. This is kind of the reason why I wanted to, choose this article, because not necessarily. I mean, of course, the abortion part is an important issue, because why are you not taking responsibility for your irresponsibility? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're gonna make a stupid decision,
Mm-hmm.
of course you're gonna get a stupid conclusion to what you just did. So now you have to live with that. You have to live with that consequence, and in that process, you have to learn from it. That's just my thinking.
Yeah.
You know, just like we said earlier about how I commend men who have sex out of wedlock, but decide that they don't want the child to die because they realize that they have a responsibility to take care of now. And they're willing to put themselves out there and go through the hardships in order to fix the wrong. So, I don't know. I just thought that this was a interesting article. Interesting.
It is. That was a good article. Good article.
All right. Well, any thoughts on it?
Does that, huh?
I mean, is
What's
there any thoughts of?
Well, I mean, I think in general, like, as you say, it's obviously not a thought that's been front of mind, but I think I would agree with you that just as a general, I get the feeling that, Japanese are more conservative, right? Like, they present themselves, it just seems that is the culture, I'm just curious about how they viewed abortion in the past prior to all of this introduction of, neoliberalism or, American liberalism into their culture. Like, before, like say before TV got really big and around the world and the internet, like what their viewpoints were on that. They
were very traditional people. They were very, very traditional people, and they were very conservative. Very conservative. Although you may have Yakuza there, man. Like, although there's like mafia and stuff, it's weird, man.
Right. They're everywhere, right?
It's still, the conservative value is still there. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to say that Yakuza people are good or anything like that, but they still function in a traditional way, as far as, like, I guess you could say the old school samurai way, which has a lot. There's
still honor, and
there's still loyalty and honor and stuff like that. It may sound kind of weird, but because we're talking about the criminal mind, but at the same time, there's still kind of like a structure of of
Younger
loyalty.
Generations take note. Older generation criminals had class, and they for saying they had no values, there was something. They were not just so amoral, and just willing to give up everything. I mean, as far as their soul and emotion and spirit goes.
Yep, exactly. So that was the last article of the night. We went about an hour overtime, but it's all good.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone. We didn't mean to go that far. I just kidding. No, that was a good one. That was a good one. There was dips and valleys and troughs and peaks and waves and all that good stuff.
And
I don't know. Speak. I'm just
and more laughs, man, and more. I don't think I have time.
Absolutely.
I don't think I have time for the turkey sandwich story. Maybe I'll save that for another day.
Oh, you're gonna say that later, as in later tonight.
Yeah, I'll just save that. I'll just save that for another day.
Yeah. Give your audience some time on that one. How about when you debut your physical appearance, you tell them the turkey sandwich story? Just kidding.
Maybe prior to that.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a particular section of the audience that would even want to hear that story.
I don't think anybody wants to hear that story, to be honest.
Well,
but
that to me was, the story to me was kind of like, locker room talk.
It was locker room, but that shit was funny.
Yeah.
Right? It was funny.
And unless you're in a transgender, gender fluid locker room, probably women shouldn't be present.
This is true. I mean, I do, I
wouldn't share that story with my sisters, is what I'm saying, or my moms.
Right. I mean, you'd have to have some type of, I don't know,
alcohol in your system.
No,
just
not
kidding.
alcohol, but you'd have to have some kind of humor to kind of appreciate that story. Is
True
what I'm
that.
trying
Have
to
you
say.
ever had a really good turkey sandwich?
I
Well,
would
I'm about to ruin
never,
it for
I
you.
would
No, just
never
kidding.
ever have a turkey sandwich in my entire life anymore.
Right.
Especially
And
after
depending on where you are in the world, it could be a roast beef sandwich. It could be a bologna
pastrami. I don't know.
It could be a pastrami sandwich.
All right. Before I let you go ahead and plug your next show and all the stuff that you got going on, my friend.
Awesome, Speak. I appreciate you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was fun hanging out tonight. I hope I wasn't too hope I wasn't too crass for you guys, but thank you for letting me be myself, and Speak for having me on the show with you.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with the C Report. Don't forget, if you're an audience at the Foxhole or Pill.net, you know what I'm talking about, Mr. C Channel. And we'll be doing another episode of the C Report tomorrow, and we'll see what that's going to be about. Last three, I think the three shows this week so far have been pretty fun. At least they have been for me. And if you're not on Pilled and Foxhole, well, why not? But no, seriously, guys, if you're not, and you come across this show, I'm just moonlighting as a co-host over here. But you can find me over at thecreport.com and also on Rumble. Follow, give me a little thumbs up to help me move my content, and follow me at Truth Social at MRCTV. And I think that's
you have a Truth Social. I don't have one, man.
Well,
I'm done, dude. I can't do any more. I just can't. I feel that if I do one more, then I'm gonna have to do another one, and I just I can't do it.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't been on my Truth Social in about, I guess, 2 or 3 days, and I said I'm going to be on there more often, but I've done a lot better of a job than I did in the past. So with social media stuff, like I really just don't engage, but I'm trying to do it on this platform, and so far so good. But I've been absent.
Have you been able to pick up like a lot of followers there?
I'm up to 160 something
Dang,
right now.
That beats my 5 followers on Twitter, man.
Yeah. Shut up. Well, Twitter, I mean, come on, guys. You know what? Why don't you stop Twitter and go to Truth Social? Or you know what? Why don't you stop Twitter and Facebook and go to Truth Social, and you'll double what you do there with less the work.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just saying. I mean, for the content that you produce, which is insightful, which is also educational, spiritually educational, but then also like tonight, it's humorous as well. I think more people would appreciate that on Truth Social than anyone would appreciate the first 2 of those on Facebook or Twitter.
That's true, but I've already established. I
mean, the 5 followers.
The Twitter I can get rid of that, because that I was kind of advised that if I wanted to build more people, then Twitter would be one of the better outlets to do it. But
back in 2018 and 17, when everyone was getting puffed up with fake accounts and joining the Trump train.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's obviously not working. So I can probably toss that. And maybe I'll do a Truth Social. I don't know, man. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. And the other good thing about having at least a Twitter is that I can do the show live on Twitter as well. So
true that, but that's like, I don't think if you're a newer account you can do that, or you have to have a certain amount of people. I don't know. No,
I'm doing it right now.
Oh,
like I'm live there right now.
How to do Periscope? It's Periscope, right? Or something
no,
like
it's
that?
Twitter.
I don't know what it's called. Huh?
Yeah.
I tried to figure it out and it didn't work. So
no, I'm live right now on Twitter. So
that's awesome.
I'm gonna
go harass you.
I get nothing but 0 viewers there. So man, I don't know. Anyhow,
well, I bet you, I can't wait until Truth Social has like a streaming type of thing too, because that will be a blast. And then, what's something else? And I'm kind of just going to tease you guys, because I've been saying it, but I haven't announced what it is. But I'll be on a new platform soon.
Dang.
I'll be on a new platform soon. And it's
Gab TV or what?
No. It's a different type of platform. It will, because like Rumble's already on Roku, right? So like, and Twitch is too, depending on what kind of like I use my PlayStation 4 and I can get on Twitch on there and watch.
If you have a smart TV, you can get on there.
Yeah, so like it's something similar to that, where you'll be able to see like the C report and my other shows like on the big screen, which would be your TV, not like theaters.
Dang.
And I'll let you guys know as soon as it's ready to go. Right now, I know that this platform does not have a lot of users, but for what it is, it stands to become like the next thing, like the next streaming service, or like the internet, the next
That's what
internet.
that's what they said about Dogecoin, dude.
I don't do cryptocurrency. Because some people are like, but crypto will always be there. And I'm like, and they're like, crypto can't be hacked. I'm like, yeah, that was before the quantum computer.
It doesn't matter.
The quantum computer exists.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter, because if you think about it, now they're able to track you with everything you do.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes, indeed. And not to mention that's what they're trying to do. They're going to destroy all of these like independent like cryptocurrencies once they roll out their national, central bank currency. They're going to do whatever they can to the markets to make them like collapse. So people either get out of them or they will abandon them. And then
if I may, I don't have confidence in Bitcoin right now. I don't.
I mean, I don't.
I've already. Okay, so no. So I've made money off of it. Okay, but right now where it's between 29 and 31, and it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. I think it's gonna go. This is not, obviously this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I don't know shit about finances, but I do know this. I do know this, that I've made some money off of it already, and I've taken it out, and I think we may see a big dip coming. Just a guess. Just a guess. Just a guess.
Well, I mean, we are headed that way.
So
overall, as far as collapse goes.
Oh yeah, because the great new reset, the great new reset is coming, whether we like it or not.
Don't say that crap, okay? Whether we like it or not. No. You shut up. Shut up.
Sorry, man.
I'm like, Brazil has rejected it. All of Africa has rejected it. China's rejected it. I mean, they can't have a great reset.
I don't
if
know.
they're not
I don't
all on
know
board.
if Africa can reject it, because they are broke.
Then let me tell you, how is it that Africa is basically the one that stopped these IHR amendments from going through?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Okay, so there were these amendments. Oh, you read Tracy Baines, don't you? No, just kidding.
No.
There were these amendments to the international health regulations of 2005 that we joined in 1969. That basically would it forfeited our rights to sovereignty in the event of a global emergency health issue to the WHO. And last week, or a week or 2 weeks, within the last 2 weeks, it was like the 20-something through the 20-something in May, like last week, whatever. They were supposed to have a vote on it during the Davos World Economic Forum little shindig they do, and they rejected it. And it had mostly to do because several African nations said no. And obviously Brazil said no, India said no as well. And Russia said no, obviously, and a couple of other countries. So they couldn't do it. Now it's not off the table from what I understand. Like there's something about it that they were just going to kind of like just change the wording a little bit,
Well, we shall see. I think.
Well, yeah, we'll see. The Great Reset is not inevitable. The Great Reset is not coming no matter what speak. It's not going to come. I mean, we will see Armageddon before the Great Reset.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but the words that you use enable it to exist. You know what I mean? Like, it's like asking for it. And we do create our reality.
Trust me.
We do create our reality.
I don't want it to happen.
Between warning, and there's a difference between warning and saying the Great Reset.
Okay, so let me
let
me change the wording then.
Yes,
possibility.
please.
The possibility.
Yes. There is a possibility. but the Great Reset is not coming, no matter what you say. You know, just kidding. I mean, the Great Reset. How did you say it? The Great Reset is coming. One way
Whether
or
we
another.
like
I
it
don't
or
know.
whether we like it or
Whether
not.
we like it or not,
Yeah.
you know, it's just now.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Anyways, but yeah, maybe if Biden's still in charge. But anyways.
Well, that's why you got to watch the video. Watch the video that I sent to you, and then there's another continuation that he put out to yesterday, because now we're on the next day. If you get a chance, please.
I'll probably watch it tonight. It wasn't a long video, so
Yeah,
I'll watch
watch
it
it.
tonight. And
It's
I started it, and I was like, "Oh, this looks juicy." I was like, "I don't have time right now. I got to get on the show."
It gets better. It gets better. Just give it a
Oh,
watch.
man.
Give it a watch.
Now I'm gonna pick that thing apart if it's true. You know that, right? So
I know you are, which is why I sent it to you, because you know I think it's something that you might be interested in.
very cool.
So-
Very cool.
Anyhow, thank you so
I just
much.
love that you guys all send me hot and cool information. I
Tha-
say hot information because it's hot. So
I really want to thank you for coming on tonight's show. I mean, every
you don't got to.
every Wednesday night is always a blast. And you know, the conversations also, bar none. Like I love the conversations that you and I have, not just on the articles, but just any kind of conversation we can talk about. I always seem to learn things from you, or, you know, just have even if it's something we disagree on, at least it's a conversation how people should, you know, it's a cordial conversation that people should
Right.
be having.
And
know.
trust and believe. The learning and the exchange of information is happening on both sides. So I thank you as well.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting me be myself and all of you beautiful people in the audience right now. So
Well, I wouldn't want you different. I wouldn't want you as somebody different, because you wouldn't
I don't
be you.
say these things on the C Report. So I don't know, I might scare some people away. But anyways, yeah, maybe not.
Well, Cloaked Unseen is saying that we're on late. No, we're about to get off.
Hey, Cloaked, what is the name of that Pearl Jam song about the phone screens? If you could just put it in the chat room. Thank you.
The phone, what?
The black screens. He told me there's a song that Pearl Jam wrote that was a spell or something that for the black screens on the telephones.
Oh,
I've been
interesting.
trying to dig into that. So I know he mentioned it, so I'm just curious. Anyways,
Okay.
by the time the delay happens, I'll be off. Oh, okay, that's not what it was. Okay, anyways, so all right. It's been a fun time, Mr. the Bartender. Thank you so much.
again, Mr. C, and I can't wait to do this again next week, Wednesday, man.
Wednesday next week.
Yes. All right, take care of yourself, brother, and I'll see you.
All right. Give my regards to the missus
Always.
and all of you beautiful people out there. Have a great night. We'll catch you at the C Report tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Good night. God bless, brother. All right, there he goes. And that concludes tonight's show of This Is News. Once again, I've dropped the link tree to all my social media outlets after this discussion about social media. Please give me a follow. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, CloutHub, Gab. I don't know how much longer I'll be on Twitter after that discussion. BitChute, YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and of course, Homebase, Pill.net, and the Foxhole.app. Kiss, thank you so much for helping me drop those links. Okay, I know that song Black. Yeah, I know that song Black. Actually, it's ironic because Black is my favorite song from Pearl Jam. Actually, Daughter is my favorite song by Pearl Jam. Kiss, thank you so much again for dropping the links. I want to thank tonight's sponsor, which would be, this is easy, Tone Jack and DJ Kurisu. Thank you so much for the gold pills tonight. I really appreciate the financial support there. Speaking of which, you can check out my merch store. Thank you for dropping the links there. Kiss, check out my merch store. There's a 30% off sale using the discount coupon Bourbon30 for 30% off. 30% off. Can't go wrong with that. No siree. The bar will be open again this Sunday, 12 noon, for the midday mix session. If you guys don't already know, or if you do know, I'm a DJ full time. And Sunday afternoons are the days where I do my mixing live. And you get to hear me mess up live. As quoted by one of the patrons here on the bar on the Sunday shows, she always says the bar is always better. And the only way to find that out is if you come by on Sunday, 12 p.m. Central Time. Well, that's all I have for tonight. And as I close the bar out, like I do every night, always be kind to one another. And remember that, geez, my throat is just, it's just bad today. And if an opportunity ever presents itself to pick somebody up, please do so. Because the truth of the matter is, you'll never know when you're going to need the picking up. And you've probably been through life where you needed some picking up. And it's always a good feeling to have somebody pick you up. So please pay it forward and pick somebody up when you can. So, with all that being said,
The bar is now closed.
I can't help but wonder if I'm under a spell. It's more than a passing notion. I've never fallen with such devotion. I can't help but wonder if it's only a dream. Am I naive or can I believe that things are really as they seem? Can anyone explain how to understand what's true? I know I just can't tame it. Whenever I'm with you, I can't help but wonder if you wonder about me. 'Cause lately I can't help but wonder how wonderful this might be. Can anyone explain it? How to understand what's true? I know I just can't take Whenever I'm with you, I can't help but wonder if you wonder about me. 'Cause lately I can't help but wonder how wonderful this might be. 'Cause lately I can't help